Good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you until, hold on, I'm with you until about 5 o'clock. Sorry. As is typically the deal, y'all know I had to break everything down for the weekend and bring it back up. Um, how's everybody doing? How was everybody's weekend? How has your week been? I know I'm late. I watched Tyson and Jake Paul. I have thoughts on that. But just quickly, briefly. But of course, before I get to any of that, I have to say hello to people. Look, I feel like if you take the time to come in here and say hello to me, it's just respectful for me to take the time to say hello to you. So that's what I try to do. Robert Willis, good afternoon. Maria in the house. Maria Smith, representing North College Hill, good afternoon. Erica Hummins out there representing Reading, good afternoon. Anthony Prosser, good afternoon. And Dwayne Larkin, representing Mount Airy, round out the top five. Nate says Toledo in the house, all right. Then he says, actually, we're in the car, not in Toledo, but you know what I mean. Seabreeze, representing Boston. Seabreeze, did you get your shirt yet? Good afternoon. Pamela Kinney, representing North Avondale, good afternoon. Terry, representing Downtown, good afternoon. Tanika, did you get your shirt yet? Good afternoon. Let me see. We need a Thanksgiving clock for next week. I might not be here next week. Actually, I might not be here the rest of this week and then be here next. Either I won't be here the rest of this week or I won't be here at all next week. One of those two. I got a lot of stuff that I have to do. Like when I leave here today, I got to go do a training. Not be trained. I have to go train some people doing some stuff. And then tomorrow, I have to go be trained doing. It's just so much going on. Just, y'all know how it is. Life don't stop, which is good. Let me see. I'm sorry. Regina Denson Griffin out there representing Madisonville. Good afternoon. Regina sent me a message that she tried that blackberry ginger ale, and it is delicious. I urge you to try it if you know what I'm saying, if you like to indulge in, delicious soda, give it a go. Ben out there representing Mason, good afternoon to you. Logic Slayer, representing Gulf Manor, good afternoon. Ruby Samuels, out there representing Gulf Manor, good afternoon. Karen Dye Williams, representing the West End, good afternoon. Got Daryl Carpenter in the house. Daryl Carpenter, he's representing Forest Park. Good afternoon. Nakia says, it must be nice to what? It must be nice to what? I don't know what you're talking about. Tanika says, was I in the top five today? No, you were not. Samuel Campbell Jr., representing East Walnut Hills. Good afternoon to you. I think that's it. I got to everybody who said good afternoon. Regina says, yes, it was good. Yeah. I got to go get me some more. Oh, Jerica in the house. Good afternoon. Sean Nutter. Good afternoon. She said, where's little baby? Probably with her mama. I only pick her up on Thursdays and Fridays. I pick her up. Her mama books late appointments on Thursdays and Fridays, and she asked me, as a respectful young lady, she said, can you help me out? I want to book these late appointments on these 2 days because I can make a lot of money in these 2 days, and all I need is a little bit of help. And if you can pick her up on Thursdays and Fridays, that will help me out a lot. And I said, of course, it'll be my pleasure. So, that's what happens on Thursdays and Fridays. DeAndre Crosby says, yo. Well, yo to you too. I'm assuming yo mean like hi. Steban Speed, representing Westwood, good afternoon. Mary Birch Lavender, representing White Oak, good afternoon. Diane Huddleston Angel, representing Gulf Manor, good afternoon to you. Veronica Burdine, I hope I didn't butcher it, because it could be Burdine, but I feel like it's Burdine. Good afternoon. All right, let's get this out the way first. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, that wasn't a fight. That was something. It was, it was something. I really don't think Mike Tyson was trying, trying to fight. He was gonna get his money. He didn't want to, what I'm saying. He know he on, his boxing career is over. He knows that. And what happens then to Jake Paul if Jake Paul loses? That's pretty much it. You just got beat by a 60-year-old dude. You know what I'm saying? People, that would have been it for him. And Mike Tyson wasn't trying to do that. Mike Tyson, my guess is he's aware of who he is, his celebrity, and that fight could bring a lot of people, a lot of eyes, and a lot of attention to Jake Paul. He seems to like the guy. I've heard him say a lot of really positive things about Jake Paul before all of this. And, he seems to like the guy, and so he wanted to help him and make some money in the process. Who could be against that? I don't necessarily agree that it should be, count. It should count. But, it does. And it is what it is. So, yeah, it was interesting. The fight itself was not interesting to watch at all. But the whole, everything surrounding it was interesting. I'm not against it. People get out there. People do what they do. They make money and, help people out. And that was a good thing. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I got for that. I'm not against Mike Tyson. He's a Trump guy. So, that is what it is. But, hey, he made that money. He made Jake Paul some money, gave him something else to add to, if you want to say his resume, something else to add to his resume, increased his visibility. You can't beat that. Hold on. Some more people have chimed in to say hello. Scott, out there in Cumming, Georgia. Good afternoon. Tria. Classy Tria back. Good afternoon. She's representing Columbia Township. Mary says it was a payoff. Yeah. Nat Turner out there in Madville. Good afternoon. Sammy says his training was more entertaining. Yes. I did. There were a few things. I'm watching the fight. Why is Cedric the Entertainer? He wasn't commentating, but I guess he was. Why was he there? Not enjoying the fight. But why was he there with a mic talking? He's Cedric the Entertainer. And I was like, what is he doing here? Even if he knows boxing, you still just Cedric the Entertainer. Cat Williams said if he see you, he gonna bust you right in your stomach. You know what I'm saying? What are you there for? You won't even fight Cat Williams. Why are you there? And for real, it would have been, why would I be there as a fight commentator? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It just didn't make a lot of sense to me. I want to see Cat Williams versus Cedric the Entertainer in a boxing match. That should have been the prelim. Cat Williams versus Cedric. But what is happening? They just got people there just because they got a name. I guess that's what it, I guess that's the thing. You got a name. But people were already there. You didn't need the name to bring people to the table. They were already to the table. It's not like that was, or at least to my knowledge, that wasn't a part of the promotion. Hey, Cat Williams, because I'm still thinking about Cat Williams versus Cedric the Entertainer. Hey, Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Special guest commentator Cedric the Entertainer. If that would have been a part of the promotion, but it wasn't. Just put regular boxing people in there. Let them talk about boxing stuff. It's just, I didn't get it was a lot of stuff I just didn't get. But Jerica says I couldn't figure out why they kept showing Charisse Theron. Is that how you pronounce her name? I don't know. It was just I didn't get it. Ron says stop hating. It's not hate. It's confusion. It's confusion. I don't understand what they thought he brought to the table. But it happened. People made money, and who could be against that? Who could be against that? LaDonna in the house. LaDonna, good afternoon. She says, I don't know why in the world I'm not getting the notifications. I don't either, LaDonna. We need to write a letter or something. Start a letter writing campaign. Get you these daggone notifications. David in the house, representing Westchester. Good afternoon, David. And Crystal Hoskins from representing the Christ Hospital. Andrea Bustle, representing Gulf Manor. Nate says, still no blacks in the cabinet. They coming. He ain't in HUD yet, have he? He haven't had opportunity to, suggest an appointment. Because that's the one I know these are the people who but I'm saying these are suggested appointees so far. He's not in the office, and I don't know the appropriate terminology that they use, but he hasn't had the opportunity to suggest. Maybe he'll do a co-HUD secretary. It'll be Byron Donaldson and Tim Scott and who's the doctor who was there last time? I don't know why I can't remember his name. I'm getting old. I'm finding that I don't remember a lot more stuff than I did. Like, it's not getting better. It's getting worse. Ben Carson. So, maybe he'll do a cold thing. So that, a lot of them can get a job. And he'll be able to say, those are my African Americans over there. I don't Dude, in all honesty, does anyone expect any high-ranking cabinet officials in the Trump administration to be black? Did anybody really expect that? This is where I want to hear from all of the people who, wanted Trump in. And, they told us the Democrats ain't did nothing for y'all in years and all of that kind of stuff. Put Trump in. What demands are y'all making of Donald Trump? He's in there now. Y'all voted for him. What demands are y'all making? Like, can y'all even say, hey, Trump, man, we voted for you, bro. Give us put in somebody in your cabinet, high ranking, who's black. Can you do that? What are y'all asking from the Republicans? What demands or expectations do you, if you voted for Trump and you're black or Latino, Hispanic, whatever the appropriate terminology is nowadays, I don't know, I'm not 100% sure. What exactly are your expectations? Because, again, I would get it if y'all say, I don't have no expectations of them because I don't expect anything from either party. That would be cool if that's what you were saying leading up to this. Like if your thing was, I'm voting for Trump just because I love Trump. And not, hey, I'm voting for Trump because the Democrats haven't done nothing for black people in 200 years. So if the Democrats doing something for black people was even a part of your argument for Trump, what do you expect Trump to do? Because you can't, remember I brought this up a lot of times. You can't say the Democrats haven't done anything for us, so I'm voting Republican because I don't expect them to do anything for us. That doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. Now, if you want to say, look, I have no expectation of him. I wanted to give my vote to him because, I don't know, he's my messiah or whatever. Then, okay, cool. Cool. But if any of the arguments you made leading up to the election was about, hey, the Democrats haven't done anything for black people, so we have to vote Republican. It's foolish, silly, stupid even to say, well, I don't expect him to do anything for black people. Ron says the election is over with. Let's just see what he does when he gets in the chair. No. See, this is why, maybe, you don't get anything done. Do you think all the other interests were saying, or are currently saying, I don't have any expectations, let's just see what he does? No. People are making it clear what they want already. Trust me. He's not meeting with people at Mar-a-Lago just for them to say congratulations. People are meeting with him to say, look, we supported you and we want something in return for our support. No other interest is saying, well, why even have expectations? Let's just see what he do. That is anti-strategic. If I come to you, like, look, I want you to support me. I'm running for mayor. I want you to support me. And you're like, okay, I'll support you. Usually it's, what am I going to get out the deal? The business community, we're going to support you, but what are we going to get? How are you going to vote on these issues? And what are you going to do for us? Women, okay, we'll support you, but what are you going to do for us? Latinos, okay, we'll support you, but what are you going to do for us? Black people, we'll support you. What are you going to do for us? Nobody's going to be like, okay, we support you. And I'm going to be like, well, what do you want? Oh, nothing. We just want to support you. You don't want nothing? You don't want me to, there's nothing that you want? Like, no, nothing that you want? No. We just wanted you to get in office and then we'll see what you do. Let's get in office and then we'll see what you do. Nobody does that. So I'm asking, he won the office. He's not there yet. What level of expectation are you putting on him? Because if you put none, then you're going to be, well, y'all going to be saying he did a great job no matter what he does. But reasonable people are going to be able to look at it and say, oh no, he didn't do anything to support us or our interests. As a matter of fact, everything he did was against our best interests. Ron says, we wanted to do exactly what he said he would do. Well, refresh my memory. What did he say he would do for black people? I don't remember. Refresh my memory, if you don't mind. Twin wants to know, did you ask that question when Bush was in office? I asked that question no matter who's in office. Yes. I don't understand. Somebody help me. I really don't understand. What is difficult about saying, this is what I would like to see the president do for the guy that I supported? These are my expectations of him. What's so hard about that? And then you get stuff like the same expectations we put on every president. Let him get in there and see what he's going to do. Hope that he will do it and wish for the best. Do you really think that's what the Latino community is? Well, they kind of are now. And we all realize they really probably just ass out. They really just probably ass out. But do you think the business community is saying, oh, we don't expect anything out of him. Let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens. David says that's not hard at all. Asking for expectations is not wrong. Right. How did y'all turn? Because in the chat anyway, you've got Twin and Ron. They're really the Trump supporters. And basically neither of them even have an expectation. So how do you say, well, you got to hold his feet to the fire? You got to hold him accountable. Accountable to what? If you have no expectations. I mean, you apply that to anything. I take my car to the shop and I give it to the mechanic and he say, what you want me to do? And I say, I'm just giving it to you. You know, whatever happens, happens. Don't you got something that you want to see happen? Like the engine light is on. You want to know what's wrong with your engine? No, man, whatever happens, happens. I'm just giving it to you and I'm going to see what happens when you give it back. Hey, what? Where is the level of expectation? So then he can just give it back to you, charge you, $900. What did you do? I did what you asked. I didn't ask you for nothing. I didn't do nothing. What's it going to cost you $900? Like, I mean, I know that's not, but it makes no sense to say to somebody, I have zero expectation of you. I don't even do that with little baby. When we sit down and start going over math, because that's, she having her little struggle with math. When we sit down and start going over math, I'm like, I really do. I set expectations. Like, I expect you to get at least, because the way I do math with her is, crazy. Nobody likes it, but it's exceptionally effective. It's the same way I did reading. It's exceptionally effective because, we got this little thing going on. And I set expectations for her. I set expectations for her. When we're working on something new, you need to get at least half of these right, or we're going to have a problem. She always laughs at me. But she wants to get half of them right at least, because it's the expectation that was set. And so we go through. Man. She actually asked me now when we start something, so how many of these I got to get right? Let me see. We got 50, so you got to get 70 of them. I mean, we got 50, so you got to get 30 of them right. Okay, and now she know what she's shooting for. Now just imagine she say, Grandfather, how many of these I got to get right? I have no expectation. I don't expect you to get any of them right, little baby. Let's go. She gonna look at me like, what? What in the world is going on, Grandfather? When you don't expect me? What? You have no expectation of me? She thrives off of that. It would totally throw her for a loop if I said I have no expectation. She wouldn't know what to do. It wouldn't make sense. How do you know if he achieved or if he didn't achieve if the expectation is nothing? I don't know. Shahar says, why are you expecting common sense with people who don't have it? Set yourself up for disappointment. Unfortunately, they have to let them see the failures, fallouts, and blow up in their face for it to finally register. And unfortunately, we have to be in the sinking boat and damn near drown with them. Ron says, but she's smart enough to know the expectation is to ultimately get the homework done. Right, because there's an expectation. You have no expectation. I mean, for real, I'm talking, you a black man who said, I support Trump. I want him in office because the Democrats haven't done anything for us in 200 years. They haven't done anything for us. So I want Trump in there. What do you want Trump to do for you? What's the expectation? Well, none. I'll just see what he do. And it's too much to ask for there to be somebody black in his cabinet. In 2024, it's ridiculous for black people to look at the president and say, really, you have no black representation in your cabinet at all? You think that's wrong, bad, silly, foolish? I'm trying to help them understand. I want them to understand, like they setting not just themselves up for failure, but all of us up for failure. But okay, so that's that. He hasn't put any black people, appointed any black people to his cabinet. Again, he hasn't done HUD yet. You know, HUD is the black people spot in their minds. I don't want to say that because I don't want people thinking I really believe that. I think there should be representation, which I guess would lead to y'all being against diversity, equity, and inclusion. That would lead to the thought process behind people being against diversity, equity, and inclusion. Let me ask you this. This is an honest question. Honest question. Really, I think most people already know this would never happen and it would be crazy. But if when Barack Obama was in office, every member of his cabinet was black, you think people would have said something about it? Did you think people would have said something about it? Like, wait a minute. Every member of your cabinet is black, Mr. President. Think people would have, my Caucasian friends, do you think they would have been like, hold on, wait a minute, something ain't right here. Something ain't right here. Mr. President, you can't find a single white person to put in your cabinet? That's reverse racism, sir. That would have been, for real, that would have been wow. That would have been just wow. You think they talking about we want our country back now? If he would have done that, and he'd have said, hey, look, I'm just getting the best available. You know, I'm not trying to worry about diversity or inclusion or equity. I'm just trying to get the best cabinet possible. And the best people that I see are all black people. And if he'd have put 2 black people on the Supreme Court, I would have been okay with that. But you know they would have went crazy. Oh, you can't find no jurists who aren't black to nominate for a Supreme Court seat. it would have been wild. The country would have gone crazy. It would have gone crazy. His press secretary, black. Chief of staff, black. Everybody, black. Okay, HUD, put a white person. Give him HUD. Come on, they would have been going bonkers. And I'm going to say for real, I think maybe rightfully so. Maybe rightfully so. Because, the truth of the matter is I think you want to have all voices at the table. You want to have a variety of voices at the table. You don't just want to listen to your people. I don't know. Maybe I'm off base. I have no expectations of Donald Trump. I had no expectations of Barack Obama. What do you want to see him do? It don't matter. Whatever he do, he in the seat. Just see what happens. I didn't hear. I read a comment. I was watching a show, and I read a comment where a lady, she was a black lady, and she said she's not going to be able to listen to talk radio or, whatever this is, these type of broadcasts, because she don't want to hear 4 years of complaining. Basically, I'm tired of hearing black people complain, is what she was saying. And I was like, sometimes I wonder, do we don't give each other a fair shot sometimes. Because Joe Biden's been the president for 4 years. I listen to talk radio, and I've heard 4 years of conservatives complaining about Joe Biden. But somehow it's wrong if liberals complain about Donald Trump. We don't want to hear it. I just had to do something else. I can't hear all of this complaining. Black people just gonna complain for the next 4 years. They ran around for almost 4 years talking about let's go Brandon. The election was stolen. Complaining about everything for 4 years, but it's wrong if the other side does it. We gotta hold ourselves to a much higher standard, I guess. But here's what I don't understand also. How do people expect you to hold people accountable if you're not allowed to look at what they're doing and question what they're doing and set some level of expectation? Right now, my man Twin, he always talking about they come every 4 years. Every 4 years they come. Every 4 years they come. We need to hold them accountable. So then you try to hold them accountable, and it's what you complaining about. What do y'all think holding them accountable looks like? What does that look like to you? Here's what it looks like to most people. And I don't mean black people. I mean most people. The president does something that they don't like or they don't agree with. They say, hey, I don't like that. I don't agree with that. And you need to do something different. Fix it. Either undo it or do something to make it better. Well, I see what you're doing. I don't like it. I'm watching you. I'm not going to vote for you next time. I'm going to protest. I'm going to say it's wrong. I'm going to tell people it's wrong. That's holding people accountable. It's just complaining. It's holding people accountable. That's how you hold politicians accountable. They do stuff you don't like, you don't agree with, you think is harmful to whatever your interests are. You call them on it. You complain about it. You ask for them to fix it. You withhold your money. You withhold your vote. You protest about it. You make noise. You get other people to come together so that you have a big enough voice that they look at it and say, ooh, a whole lot of people didn't like this. It's gonna threaten my political future. Let me do something different. Let's compromise. That's what accountability looks like to a politician. So then you say, well, Donald Trump hasn't appointed any black people to his cabinet. There y'all go complaining. There y'all go complaining. He ain't even in office yet. There y'all go complaining. It's called holding him accountable. Brian says, you hold them accountable by voting them out when they run again. Partly. Why do you think that you hear people lobby their representatives for different things? That's all a part of holding them accountable. You say, this is what I want. You gonna give it to me? If they say, yeah, then hey, I thought you said you was going to give me that thing. Remember when we had talked and you had said that you was going to do this? You ain't did it yet. I'm waiting. Remember when you had said that you was going to, I'm waiting. Hold on, bro. I'm tired of waiting. You need to do this thing. Hold on, let me bring some friends with me. Now we going to all go to, city council. And we gonna pack city council, and we all gonna speak about this thing that you said you was gonna do that you didn't do, or this thing that you doing that you know we don't want you to do. And to some degree, we threaten you politically. We're not gonna vote for you next time. We're not gonna support the thing that you want us to support. All of that is part of holding them accountable. All of it. People don't be just marching and picketing with signs and stuff for fun. That's their way of saying, you doing some stuff that I don't like or that I don't agree with, or you need to do some stuff that you're not doing yet. That's what holding them accountable looks like. Now, ultimately, a part of the threat is we won't vote for you next time. We won't support you next time. If you get in trouble, we don't have your back. Ultimately, that's what that looks like. But all of it is holding them accountable. So it's fair to point out that the cabinet doesn't look like we might want it to look right now. But it's also fair to say there are other appointments to be made. Let's see what he does, from the other side. I don't know that it's fair just to say, I have no expectation of it. Let's just see what happens. That sounds silly, foolish, even stupid to me. But that's that. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. You gotta watch. You gotta complain. You gotta make some noise when you see things going, and because I'm explaining this to y'all like y'all don't know this, and apparently there's a couple people who don't know. Brian says, I don't know that I agree. It sounds stupid. You don't? You don't agree that saying to whatever your politician is do whatever you want to do. I'm going to just see what you do. I don't have any expectation. You don't think that's stupid? I mean, honestly, I'm asking Brian, Brian, I'm asking you, honestly, you don't think that's stupid? How would you classify it? Saying to any politician, say, to AFTAB, AFTAB, I have no expectation of you. Brian says, no, I think it's wishful thinking and hoping, which is stupid. That's stupid. If that's your political strategy, just I'm a hope and think wishfully. If that's your political strategy, that's a stupid political strategy. It doesn't make the person stupid, but it's definitely a stupid political strategy. Brian said he put it in God's hands. God put it in your hands. That's why we had an election. You know what I'm saying? God said, hey, don't put this on me. Look, you got an opportunity. Because, of course, we all know, if you believe in God, like most people believe in God, the way the people who believe in God, the way that they believe in him, most people who believe in God believe God is all powerful. So if you really just put it in God's hands, you wouldn't have voted. You'd have said, God, whoever you choose, we don't need a vote. You just anoint a leader and make him the leader. Thank you, God. Amen. You didn't put it in God's hands. You went out and voted. You pay attention. And then you'll decide whether or not you support a candidate based on whatever it is that makes you have that decision. You don't put it in God's hands. Brian says, I did my part. I voted. Didn't turn out the way I wanted it to be. But that's not the end of it. Well, for some people, I guess that is the end of it. But there are other people who say, okay, my person didn't get in. That's fine. But I still want certain things to happen. And so I still have a level of expectation. I still have a level of expectation for you. And you know what I'm saying? If we don't get no justice, you don't get no peace. You know what I'm saying? That is a level of expectation. That is a level of expectation. No justice, no peace. What do you expect, justice? What happens if you don't get justice? You don't get no peace. Even that is a level of expectation. So to say, I voted, it didn't turn out my way, so I just throw my hands up and say, whatever happens, happens. I will not comment on anything that may or may not happen. I don't have anything to say about what may or may not happen. It may happen, it may not happen. And whatever it is, I got to be okay with it because, no! Do you know that there are things that happen politically that only happen because people push for it to happen? Do you know that there are things that people plan that the only reason that they don't happen is because people stand up and say, oh, hell no, we're not going to stand for that. That's expectation. And I put it in God's hands. That sounds wild to me. That sounds wild to me. CK,
Hey, what's up, Livingston?
how you doing?
I'm doing good, brother, man. I missed you yesterday. I thought you was gonna be on the air, man.
Yeah, no, Mondays. Oh, I didn't announce this. Mondays, I will not be on the air.
Oh, you say, yeah, I understand. I understand. I mean, your fans respect your wishes. You do know that, right?
No. No, but to some degree, it doesn't matter because I have to do what I have to do. So, yeah, the project that was Tuesdays is now Mondays, but Tuesdays are free. So I'll be here on Tuesdays, but I won't be here most Mondays.
Oh, you saying you got to do what you got to do on Monday? It
Yes.
don't matter what the fans think at
Yes.
all. Zero. I
Yes.
like that. I like that. You can't live your life based on your fans on Facebook.
Well, the fans
You,
don't end up paying the bills, and you know the stuff I'm doing on
these are
Mondays
facts,
is
though.
paying some bills.
This is fact, man. I wanted to talk to you, man. We had so much, man, that went on, man. I wanted to holler at you, man. First, I
What?
wanted to get your mic. I don't like this. See Livingston, the guy I needed to talk to. I talked to Wyatt, but I needed to talk to Livingston.
Oh,
I don't like this narrative, sir. This the white boy went easy on Mike. Oh, bless his heart. No, I'm trying to tell my people he tried to embarrass the legend. He just couldn't do it, man.
wait,
But my people is falling for the banana.
who
Jake the
said?
Snake.
Wait, who said that Jake Paul went easy on Mike Tyson?
This is what I'm getting from the media when you watch the Sports Center and stuff. I mean, what you getting?
I'm not sure, but I haven't heard anybody say that.
Stephen A.
Oh, I don't
Who
listen to
I
Stephen
didn't.
A. I can't take him.
Hold on, but hold on, and let's just look at this straight up. It's a bitch move, man. I mean, you fighting a 58-year-old. I mean, come on, man. So most people gonna look at that kind of negatively. We understand the hustle part of it, but in real life, we know that you could hurt that man. You know what I mean? You could seriously hurt that man, and people ain't looking for that.
No.
So I think people kind of is looking at Jake negatively, like a kind of a coward or a bully for picking on the old man.
Now that I
58?
could see, like that's
Okay.
when people, I had a coworker at one point who threatened to punch me in the mouth, and people were wondering about if I would ever fight that coworker, and I was saying no, I would never fight that coworker. I am in my 50s. He is almost 80 or in his 80s. I'm not gonna fight
Right.
an 80-year-old man. So so I could understand how people could look at that and say, it have a negative opinion of Jake Paul either way.
And this goes back to our conversation we had last week. I think you were putting a little much on it. I told you the guy, he ain't worth 20 million. I'm talking about it ain't worth giving Livingston 20 million to fight this guy. He ain't. Now, if he was 21-year-old Mike, then I'd say Livingston, you earn your 20. But come on, man. He's 58. I mean, I respect your price, but I think you're a little steep, Livingston. I think you're a little steep on the 20 million side with Mike.
I'm just telling you my price. Now that, but
How
that's
much you
why I
gonna charge
said,
Jake?
but I said to you, not just Mike. I said Mike. I will fight Tyson Fury. I would fight Deontay Wilder. I would fight Anthony Joshua. I would any other top heavyweights. $20 million.
Oh yeah, I got you. Now, what about a guy like Jake Paul? How much you gonna charge to fight a non-top heavyweight?
I would about the same. If he paid Mike Tyson 20, you know what I'm saying? Pay me 20.
Oh, you said you ain't gonna do me like that, Jake?
But look, it wouldn't be a benefit to him, so I wouldn't have to worry about that. But that's about my
Mm-hmm.
price. Okay, I
Yeah,
would fight
but
Jake for 10.
Okay, I
Okay,
got you.
15, 15,
But
15. Because you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be that big of a draw. But if you want to fight the king of talk, then $15 million. I'll give you a deal.
but the thing is, I'm saying I'm seeing the narrative, and I'm seeing a lot of our black faces on the screen make that excuse. They like, oh man, Jake took it easy on. I, I just don't like that narrative. I think it's just like if me and you fought. I tried to knock you out, but I couldn't. So of course, at the end of the fight, I'm gonna hug you. But that don't mean that I went easy on you, Livingston.
No, I
So it's
agree.
ridiculous narrative.
I think if anybody went easy, it was Mike Tyson.
Excellent point.
To a
Excellent
large
point. You
degree,
believe that
it
in your
looked
heart?
like he wasn't even trying. I don't think that he wanted to because it would have just been if Mike Tyson got knocked out, it wouldn't necessarily be an embarrassment because he's almost 60. If Mike Tyson knocked out Jake Paul, that would be it. It would be over. You got knocked out by a 60-year-old former champion. That would be it. Like, you know what I'm saying? What Canelo would be like, why would I fight you when you got knocked out by Mike Tyson? Like, don't even talk about me no more. So, yeah, no. I think Mike
But
Tyson took it easy on Jake Paul because I think he likes the guy.
okay, yeah, I like that. We can go with that narrative. But don't tell me Jake went nice on Mike because he liked the guy. That sounds ridiculous. I do go with what you say. That I think that's more plausible.
Yeah.
It's more plausible. Mike likes the guy, all right. But okay, from what you've seen, was Jake trying to hurt the man?
I think he was trying to knock him out, yeah. He was trying.
Thank you. Okay, I can trust you. I can trust you. I'm just saying, man, you giving it 100. And so that's the narrative I'm saying. But if you watch the media, they are spinning the exact opposite narrative of what you're saying.
Again,
You
I
know what I
haven't
mean?
seen that, but I don't agree with it if that's
Shannon
what they're
Sharp,
saying.
Ocho, you don't watch their show?
No.
Oh. Which sports shows are you invested in, sir?
Very few of them. They do too much NFL talk to me, so I don't really watch a lot of the
Oh, yeah,
sports
yeah.
shows.
Oh, man. So, okay, and another thing I wanted to holler at you about was it was a guy in upstate, and he was playing his video game, 20 years old. He was playing 2K, and there was 2 seconds left, and he got mad and slammed his 8-month-old baby boy up against the wall because he was losing the game on 2K, right?
Okay.
This baby is in intensive care fighting for his life. I hope he make it. They're saying it's looking dire. But I don't understand, why do these prosecutors and investigators, when something tragic like that, why do you say, well, this is not the first time he was abused? The baby is 8 months old. He threw the baby against the wall. What difference do it make if it was the first or the last? What? This is bigger than, this ain't the first time he was abused. Why is that the first thing they go to, Liz?
Well, I think it's possible that the reason that they're saying that is to let you know that this isn't especially if you're talking about prosecutors, they want to let you know this is not some isolated incident that you could say, oh, he just snapped for a second because of this video game. They want to make the point that, no, he's a violent person and this is what he did previously. So it shows prior acts. So you can't excuse the one. You have to take them all into consideration, which then hopefully makes it worse for the person who harmed the child.
Sir, if you commit an act as vile as throwing a baby up against a wall, it doesn't matter if it was your first or 50th time doing it. That is
but to some,
irrelevant.
No, that's not
to the
necessarily
crime.
true. To some people, it does matter. There are some people who would sit in a jury box and hear the idea that this person just had a some sort of temporary lapse of judgment and did this horrible thing, and find that as a reason to have some sort of mercy on the guy. But if you can say, no, this wasn't some temporary lapse in judgment. He has a history of doing things to this child. So this was just one of many. Don't try to, look at it, as a, some separate thing. It's a part of this whole group of bad behavior. So we want you to be harsh with this guy and not cutting any slack.
Sir, the act, the crime itself speaks everything you need to know. You don't need to know the future. You don't need to know the past. This man threw the baby up against. I know he'd been abusing the baby if he did that.
But that's you.
My whole point. That's common sense.
Right? No, that's you. You know that.
So you don't think that's common sense?
I think there are people.
If a person can get mad enough to throw their baby up against the wall and kill it, he already been abusing that baby.
I think there are people who would make that excuse. And so you want to take that excuse away and say, no, it wasn't just this. Like you said, common sense would tell you that this has happened previously. Well, we don't have to rely on your common sense to tell you that. Here is the history of these things happening.
Okay. So you're saying it's put out there early like this because it just happened last night. They're doing this to sway the juror to show that he doesn't deserve any type of mercy.
Yes.
If the baby dies.
Yes.
I got you. That makes sense. Hey, I appreciate you explaining it, man. But, I hit you with them quirky king of talk things that be in my head. Like, why would they say that? And then you break it all the way down like a Cincinnati cat, and I got it. You feel me?
All right.
I got it. Yep. Much love to the family, man. Keep on teaching these people everything. I'm going to listen to your show.
Yes, sir. CK, thank you for your support, bro.
Thank you.
All right. That was CK. I appreciate CK. Hold on, you gotta go off too, CK. Okay. Hold on. Somebody put something up here that I think I wanted to respond to. I don't. Okay. I don't know that I want to respond to it. Fame says Lincoln is a Marine. He will split your wig. Look, I don't know what y'all think they do in the armed forces, but it's not like the movies. They don't give them no super serum. You know what I'm saying? And then they become this almighty force. You go through basic, and then you go DJ on a boat. That don't make you Superman. It don't. Stop it, y'all. The DJ on the boat, I'm not scared of the boat DJ. I'm just not. I'm not scared of the boat DJ. I wouldn't fight the boat DJ. But I'm not scared of the boat DJ. That's all I'm saying. Nate.
He was not a boat DJ.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. That was his job. He was the DJ on the boat. Ask him.
Anyway.
Ask him.
E-Man.
Yes.
I have 4 things I wanted to run by you.
All right.
Number 1, you talked about already. No blacks in the cabinet, huh? Couldn't find none. You know how many? I wonder where's the pictures of Whoopi Goldberg and Seeley. Am I anything in that for me? You know, like they like to throw out on us. Now, we know Biden had a black vice president, put a black woman on the Supreme Court, put, I believe, a record number of blacks in federal judgeships. In fact, they just, I got a message, I think an email yesterday saying they had done another one down on the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. So we know Biden and Kamala Harris, they got a good record of blacks. And here we go with Trump, no blacks. Something need to be said about that. I think you did a good job of that. Number 2 was, I think I'm going to come to superintendent, going to be number 3. But number 2, okay, yesterday I watched a council committee. Why am I watching Cincinnati council committees, and I live in Toledo, I don't know the answer, but I would. They want to give $500,000 of y'all money. They want to take it out the health department's budget. And, of course, we know what that health department budget goes to. Mammograms, immunizations for little kids. I think they still got a dental department. They claiming they don't have money. They want to close the health clinic down on Elm Street. Do you know older people don't pronounce that word Elm? They call it Elm. Elm Street. Anyway,
yes, they do.
They want to close the clinic because they ain't got no money. Even though that was highlighted as one of the ones that they wanted to fix, and I remember that during the whole campaign about the choo-choo train. But so the point is, somehow they went and found $500,000 just laying around the health department, and they want to take that money and give it to transsexual teenagers. Now, the white people came down and testified, and it's the only black person who went to speak was a guy who ain't no friend of mine, was LG. He went and spoke against it. He made, I thought, give credit where credit is due. I thought he made some good points, which is we just had a national election. They spent millions of dollars in Ohio with commercials attacking Sherrod Brown and Kamala Harris, saying y'all is for them and they, and y'all not for us. And so here we got a white councilman. Y'all got a white councilman who's done said we want to take $500,000 from the health department and we want to program it towards transsexual teenagers. Now, I'm thinking a lot of things. Just how many transsexual teenagers do y'all have in Cincinnati? Why would you take that amount of money? In the grand scheme of things, is it a huge, is it a budget buster? I don't know. But I went and looked at, because I remember they were talking about taking some money and doing an anti-gun violence program, and that they went and found they could only find, I think it was $275,000. So you got $275,000 for the anti-gun violence program versus $500,000 for the transsexual kid program. I'm thinking the anti-gun violence program, in the grand scheme of things, is a much more justifiable expenditure of public funds than transsexual. Now, they was using all these words. I don't even know what half of them meant. Well, I can't say half. A lot of them, I think they had maybe about 9 or 10 different white people came down there and spoke in favor of it. And most of their speeches went something like this. Hi, my name is Amy, and my pronouns are her and how did that go? My pronouns are her and she. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I just want to tell you now, one lady, she said, my kid came to me when they were 5 years old and told me that they were transsexual. Now, that made me stop for a minute. I said, wait a minute. Because, I got about 100 kids. So I don't remember none of them when they was 5 years old talking about they were anything sexual. They were kids. So that made me worried. She said, and we didn't know what to do, and we basically did nothing until the child turned 9. And then when the child turned 9, and I can't remember if this was a boy child or a girl child, we went and sought some transitional assistance. What's the little buzzword that they kept using all during the campaign?
I can't remember, but I like transitional assistance.
Yeah. And I'm like, what? And so basically, almost every last one of them was a well-to-do white person down there talking about they got a transsexual kid and they wanted to take money to help other transsexual kids. And Children's Hospital was somehow roped into this. I don't know what they got to do with it. I guess they the ones giving out the transsexual training or treatment or counseling. I don't even know what it was all about.
Vernon says gender affirming care.
Gender affirming care.
Yes.
It's like, come on now, this is too much. Didn't y'all learn y'all lesson? Council is up for re-election next year. AvTab, the mayor, y'all mayor is up for. Now, they just had the committee yesterday. Now, I'm guessing them same white folks gonna go and probably have even more. They're gonna come down and Seelbach, who ain't on council, seemed like he was partly organizing this with the white council member.
Okay.
The point is, I know me and you talked, man, might have been a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and you were saying, and I was asking you, or we might not even talk, I might have just been in the chat, saying, why y'all keep putting this on Democrats? Y'all want to keep lumping, every time y'all talk about transsexuals, y'all want to keep saying, the Democrats is for this. And I'm arguing, we not for that. Show me one Democrat who's running around here pushing for transsexual anything. And then I turn on my city cable, and there was the Democrats on Cincinnati City Council basically putting a thumb in my eye. And I'm like, oh, my God. So I don't know if you got thoughts on that, but it just seems like, and in committee, nobody voted against it. It's like, what in the world? Maybe they figure, this is a safe Democratic city. All I need is the endorsement. I'll win re-election. It's almost guaranteed. In fact, probably won't nobody run against me. I think, 10 people ran last time?
I think so,
So, you know, they probably figure, what do I have to lose? And they might be sincere. They might know something that I don't know, and maybe somebody listening, they can help me in the chat, or maybe they'll call in after I hang up. I don't get it. Why would you take any taxpayer money and put toward this? Why do teenagers need any kind of gender-affirming care? And again, maybe I'm naive. Why can't they wait till they're 18?
Well,
and why is them rich people? It seems like we tired of spending our co-pays. We want to use y'all money, and it reeked of white privilege and out of touch and a whole bunch of other things.
Well, let me say, this is what I'm talking about when I talk about having some level of expectation. These people didn't just think about it and wish and put it in God's hands. No, they went down there and said, this is what we want you to do. They set a level of expectation. And if I go down there and say, this is what I want you to do, either you're going to do it or you're not. And then I'm going to hold you, I'm going to remember that when it comes time to either donate to your campaign or vote for you or, whatever, support something that you want to support. So that's number one. Everybody set some level of expectation for their representatives. That's only smart. Right. Number two, I can't be mad if I had a transgender daughter or son or whatever. I would want them to get some care and stuff too. I would want, you spending taxpayer money on, what's the opposite of transgender? Regular gender people. They get money, so give transgender people some money too. I don't.
Well, wait a minute. Let me challenge you on that.
Okay.
Because I was about to share something personal. I ain't gonna even go there. Let me just put it like this: it's a whole bunch of kids who need counseling, who need help. Whether it's mental help or or physical help who can't get it through the city's clinic system. And so I don't think every non-trans
But why can't they get it?
Probably because they ain't got no insurance. They can't afford it.
Then that'll be those transgenders who whatever can't afford it, ain't got no. Those will be the same people who can't get it. The transgender training or whatever it is, I don't know what it's called. I'm sure it's not a training. The transgender care, those will be the same people who won't be able to get it.
No. What I'm saying is not sexual care. I'm saying, like, if you got a troubled teenager,
Mm-hmm.
I know of some folks right now in Cincinnati who got some troubled kids.
Okay.
Maybe they acting out, maybe they violent, maybe they runaways, maybe they got mental problems, maybe they got a drug problem. The system is telling the parents, we ain't got no help for you. You better go get a job and get some insurance. They can't pay for it, and the systems seem to be overwhelmed. It just don't seem right that you would give set aside money specifically for transgender kids when you got all the non-transgender kids who have problems. Not saying again that cause somebody might twist it. Well, you saying all kids got problems? No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying those who do, and it ain't related to no transgenderism, it's not help for them. And so it just seems wrong that you would take and you would prioritize, you would put at the top of the list transgender kids who need help with gender affirming care.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. All right. Say I have a transgender kid who need help with gender affirming care, right? And
right,
my transgender kid goes to the city health clinic and asks.
Wait. Look, I'm sorry. What is gender affirming care?
I don't know. I've never.
See, I've been in that deep dark space on Twitter/X, and basically they saying that some of this got to do with giving the kids hormones, puberty blockers, other stuff, and their big thing is no parents should be doing this to their kids. They say it has long-term implications. This is one time I wish Radicalized Ron would call and not be cussing, but explain this, because I believe he knows. I believe he's tried to go into it a couple of times, but he gets so far out there into conspiracy land that he can't give us the facts. I'm just saying, apparently you or I, neither one of us know exactly what gender affirming care is, but I cut you off. You were trying to make a point.
I'm saying if I have a child that needs some gender affirming care, my child can't just go to the clinic and get some gender affirming care. They're probably going to look at them and say, we don't do that here. So I guess the other option, as opposed to setting aside, $500,000, would be to say, among the services that we offer also is gender affirming care, or, whatever it is. And I'm asking now, this is a question. Is that specifically what they're saying that they want to use this $500,000 for, is gender affirming care? Or is it just, something to help young people who identify as transgender?
I'll be honest, I don't know. Like I say, I just happened to be doing something. It popped up on Facebook, the city's Facebook page. It said city cable's the committee's about to come on. I happened to click on it, and I saw this big discussion about them taking $500,000 for transsexual kids and teenagers. And I don't know the answers. And I will say, let me research it and call you tomorrow, but I think you said you're not coming on tomorrow. and maybe not the rest of the week, right?
Maybe.
So it'll probably be a dead issue by then. All I know is it's supposed to be up for a vote tomorrow, and I thought I would call and bring it up. Maybe somebody else will pick up on it after I hang up. The last thing was Ironetta Wright. You know, they fired Ironetta Wright. They put in an interim superintendent. I think they call them co-superintendents. Whatever they did, they made those positions permanent yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So those two sisters is in the top 2 paid administrative jobs in Cincinnati Public Schools. And when I heard that news, I was thinking, okay, great. Everybody ought to be happy. But apparently I listened to the lady you mentored and trained up as a great show producer. She was hosting for Lincoln Ware, and they called in and said they wasn't happy with the process. Have you heard any of that? Did you hear the show today? And what are your thoughts about the process that was used to get permanent superintendent and deputy superintendent, I guess is the title. What do you think about that?
I did hear, not the show, but I've seen and heard some comments where people were expressing their displeasure because I think what people wanted to see was a national search for the best superintendent, which makes sense. I get why, you say, hey, let's expand it. Let all of these people apply or, whatever, and you get the best of the best. But I don't know that. I think that's a good.
Is it the case of black people being grouchy? Clams in the barrel.
I don't know.
Can't be happy with the sisters getting the appointment and got to just throw some salt on them.
I don't know if that's the case. I think it's. I'm trying to not say certain stuff. I think it's more just a matter of people not liking the process. People wanting to. The feeling was you brought somebody from out of town who seemingly was doing a good job, but then that all went to hell. So why do that again to somebody else and throw everything in turmoil? Why not just do what the people want, which is give it to somebody here locally and just have that be that. And then that way, either everybody will be happy or nobody will be happy, but you won't be able to blame it on outside people coming in and messing up. These is inside people. They know what's up. So if it go wrong, it's on them. I don't like it.
You said give it to somebody local, but that's exactly what they did. Gave it to 2 locals.
Right.
Who done worked their way up.
Right.
But you also said, and everybody will be happy, but everybody ain't happy.
Well, everybody ain't happy. They wanted to see that process. But I'm saying if I'm CPS, I look at that process and say that process hasn't worked out well for us. And the argument could be made that what CPS is doing, and I'm just saying that this argument could be made, that what CPS is doing is CPS is saying, look, bringing somebody from the outside don't work here in Cincinnati. It might work elsewhere and it might get good results elsewhere, but we learned from our mistake and our people are not going to accept outside. And it's going to mess up our district and the whole community going to be mad eventually. And then any gains that we get from that, we're going to end up having to give them back in terms of, oh, that was good, that worked. Well, we didn't like that outsider who did it, so now kick them out, undo that process, and put somebody else. It's just, I think CPS is saying, it don't matter what we do. We're probably not going to be very successful. So why go through the headache of a national search and even picking somebody nationally when in 2 years all hell gonna break loose because I was about to call them PTA. The union ain't gonna like them because they from the outside and they trying to make change, and Cincinnati don't want to see change. Why go through all of that? Fuck it. You got the job. You here. You got the job, and you can't do no worse than nobody else.
See, one of the people who I heard on the radio saying that the process was broke and it didn't involve community involvement, it didn't have an adequate amount of community involvement, was Iris Rowley. And she compared it to the process that was used to pick, I think now, y'all done had 5 chiefs in the last 15 years or something like that. I could probably, if I really struggled, I could probably name them all. And that process has resulted in, y'all got a white woman who, for what I could see from the outside looking in, she's not doing a good job. I mean, crime might be down nationally. I believe those statistics, but it don't really seem like that lady is doing a good job. Do you think she's doing a good job?
I don't know. I ain't been robbed. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But I just...
Well, that's a good thing.
I don't know. I think it's probably all the same. I don't know that policing cuts crime. I don't think policing is what gets rid of crime. Policing might push it to a different area or, something like that. But I don't think policing gets rid of crime. So.
All right. Actually, I said 4. I think I gave you 3, but whatever the 4th one was, I can't remember. So I'll have to hold it till next time.
All right.
Unless you got more questions for me, you're out of here.
I don't have any more questions. All right. Well, I don't know. I honestly don't think policing has much effect on crime at all. But that's just me. Shoot. I think it was something else that I wanted to discuss. Twin?
What's up, young blood?
How you doing, old blood?
I'm about to cuss you and your brother out.
Why would you do that?
Well, y'all come up with some stupid questions.
Like what?
Any and everything. Why this? Why Trump ain't got this and all? Man, the election over with, man. The election over with. You still, what you expect stuff from Trump? Man, expect him to beat Trump.
Wait. Just so that I understand, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I want you to be clear. I'm not saying that you're wrong. But it seems like your position is, once the election is over, then we shouldn't have any expectations of our elected officials.
Why y'all don't say that about the local people too?
They do. But but you didn't hold on, but you didn't answer my question. Is that your position? Is that once an election is over, you should have no expectations of your elected officials?
No, I didn't say that.
I'm asking, do you feel that way?
I don't think I'm expecting him to do what you say.
Wait. Hold on. No, please just answer the question. I really want to know, do you believe that as a citizen, you should have some expectations for your elected officials?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you believe that, then what's wrong with asking what are your expectations for this elected official?
I was just joking, though, on that. But I'm expecting him, to be the president and, treat everybody fair.
What do you expect him to do? What would you want to see him do in particular because one of y'all things was the Democrats don't do nothing for black people. So what would you like to see? What do you expect Donald Trump to do for black people?
Tomorrow morning. You said what, Emanuel?
What do you expect Donald Trump to do for black people?
I mean, when he went in there and said what he go say, he go do when he went to the black community or whatever.
What did he say?
Whatever he respect. I mean, whatever he said to him.
No,
I
what
can't
did he
recall
say?
on him.
I'm asking you.
I can't recall on him, man.
So you have no expectations of him, is what you're saying.
I mean, he said he goes lower the taxes and inflation and all that extra stuff, and get rid of that LGBT stuff, gender, whatever they try to do in school.
So
change
you
them sexual.
that was never. Hold on, but just twin, you don't honestly believe that kids was going to school one day as a boy and then come home that same day as a girl and done had gender reassignment surgery?
It's a possibility.
It is
all
not.
This stuff that's going on.
It is not.
All this stuff that's going on TV and stuff.
Twin, it's not even a possibility. It's not.
How you know? Was you there?
No, because it didn't happen.
Okay. You don't know that.
Gender reassignment surgery is not an outpatient procedure that you can do during school hours.
I'm talking about surgery, man. I ain't talking about that.
That's what he said. He said kids go to school a boy and they come home a girl and the parents didn't know nothing about it. He said that.
I thought he was talking about. I thought you was talking about. They go home and come home with their sex change or something like that.
Yes,
I mean,
that's
they
what
having surgery. I mean,
right. That's what he said.
but they had surgery after school.
Exactly. See how little sense that makes?
Oh, I don't believe that.
Right.
That they leave home and then go to school and have surgery. No, I don't believe that. But if they leave home and come back as a cupcake, I believe that. But that surgery stuff, no, I don't believe that. That part, but they leave to go home and leave home, come back home. I think from school as a cupcake, I believe that issue. But surgery, no. First of all, you gotta heal first. If you're doing all that,
right, you gotta heal. So it's probably not happening all in one day. So we can agree, lie. But the election is over.
No, I don't believe that.
Yeah, the election is over. My question becomes, I was asking about the expectations. So what do you expect him to do about the LGBTQ thing to make it go away?
Don't bring it up. Don't even talk about it.
You really believe he's not going to talk about LGBTQ issues?
I mean, I hope he don't push their issues with whatever right they try to pass on it. I hope he don't. We got problems here, man. You got 7-year-old getting beat up, car break-in, shooting, steal. I don't know what the Affleck come out and crime down and all that extra stuff, man. It's killing every day.
Well, but Trump don't.
Buy me a baby shit.
Trump don't have nothing to do with any of that, though.
No, I'm just saying. I hope, we expect him to, be a president and, make everything right.
Okay.
Oh, whatever he said on his word. That's what I'm expecting. All this Project 25 and go back to plantation. Man, I ain't putting that Devilfield junkie in my mind or thinking about it, man. We just got to go with the flow.
And if the prices don't go down, then how long before we can say, hey, bro, I thought you was going to bring these prices down?
Hey, somebody got to bring it to his attention. We got to start holding these people accountable, man. It's time out for this every 4 years stuff.
Right.
Don't vote for me.
So
somebody strong, man, as a black person, need to get out there, whether it's me or whoever, get out there, tell the local representative who represent your state or city, and get, man, forget this, man. This bull. We've been doing this every 4 years and voted out all this crazy stuff, spending hours at the poll, and this the thanks we get. Come on now, it's got to be better. Then especially right now, that man turned out $500,000 to transgender stuff. What type of fugazi shit you on, dude? And you got these kids out here, y'all claim mental health and all that, homeless and all that, man. Going to school begging and man, it's crazy. But you want to put $500 for that sexual crazy stuff y'all got going on? Make me wonder if you're a suspect, if you're gay or whatever. Come on, man, with that.
Well,
time out for this.
Hold on. Wait, you don't have to be gay to not want to see.
Man,
can I get it out?
Whatever, man.
Can I get it out? You don't even know what I was going to say.
Naked face ass.
What was I going to say?
What?
What was I going to say?
You don't have to be look gay or whatever you saying.
If you let me get it out, then you don't have to guess what I'm going to say. You'll know because I've said it.
All right, come on, man.
All right. You don't have to be gay or transgender to not want to see transgender people suffer.
So what about, man, that's minor. So what about the real stuff, man?
What's the real stuff?
Like the kids out here today, you claim ain't no high crime and all that extra stuff, and you wonder why the violence got to stop. 1 minute you cool with it, next minute you not. Make up your mind. You confused.
What are you talking about? I don't even.
I'm talking about the mayor, man.
Okay, the mayor. What about the mayor?
No, I'm just saying, you saying this expectation and all this extra stuff, but you look at it, it just, you got to start really hold these people accountable now for they whether it's president, local, whoever. That's what we expect them to do the right thing, just not come holler at the people every 4 years. And I pray you do the right thing, man, because all this KKK and all this Project 25 and extra stuff, man.
Wait.
Come on now.
Are you talking about the mayor or the you said we talking
Man,
about the
both,
mayor.
man, catch up.
You the one said we talking about the mayor, and then you start talking about Project 2025. I don't think the mayor is going to be implementing Project 2025. So you pick one to talk about.
I'm going back and forth for what you saying.
Oh.
Man.
What am I saying?
Up, man?
What do you think I said?
You said an expectation.
Okay, and you
I
said
just hope
you
he do the right thing. And then I said something about the mayor and everything that it $500,000 to the thing, and I was going along with what you were saying, from the president to the mayor and other people.
So you do
And I
believe
said
that we should
we should just start holding them accountable for, man, what they doing.
So
Time out for that line and all that line.
then why? Wait, if you're okay with people holding people accountable, then why is it that when anyone asks about, say, Donald Trump not having anybody black yet appointed to his cabinet, you say, "Why are we talking about that?"
About that yet? I never brought it up.
Right? You said, "Why don't you just let him get in office and then see what happens?" As if to say, "Don't talk about it. Don't hold him
I never
accountable."
mentioned nothing about him having black people in his cabinet. I never brought that subject up.
Okay.
I just said let him get in office. Let him get in. I didn't mention nothing about him having black folks in his cabinet.
All right. So what's
Let that man pick whoever he want to pick. It is what it is. If
that's
they do
the
get in there,
opposite.
what they go to HUD or something?
That's the opposite of holding someone accountable. You say 1 second, let's hold him accountable, and then the next second you say, well, whatever he do, just let him do it.
I mean, man, that's that man pick, man. You're a coach. You want to pick. You can put all black on your team, all white on your team. That's your team. I ain't telling you, man. It is what it is.
No, it ain't
man.
what it is. No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. You can't, 1 second, you can't say, let's hold these people accountable. And then when we talk about holding your guy accountable, say, nah, just let him do whatever he want to do.
That ain't my guy, man. That ain't my guy. Even though I vote, that ain't my guy.
He is clearly your guy.
No, he ain't. Just
Yes,
because I voted for him, they don't mean he my
that
guy.
That 100% means he is your guy.
So you vote Democrat. You voted all Democrats on the ticket. Every time you go up there.
Hold on. I voted for Kamala Harris. Had she won, and I'd have been like, that's my girl. That's my president. She is my representative. I voted for her, and she represents me. That's my girl.
Okay, Trump was your guy too in 2016.
No, I didn't vote for Trump.
Then you just say she your president? So who was your president in 2016?
He was the president.
Yeah, okay.
He wasn't my president.
You got a stimulus check, did you?
Oh, did I get a stimulus check? I believe so.
Yeah, you got one. And you cash.
I got one from
okay, that's your boy.
I got one from
right?
Obama too.
Trump. Obama didn't give out stimulus checks.
Yeah, he did.
Huh?
Yeah, he did.
I thought he gave it to business. He didn't give it like Trump and
Obama
Bush
gave
did.
out stimulus checks.
I can't recall.
I do.
I don't recall. I remember Biden giving them to Trump and Bush. I don't recall him giving straight stimulus check to people.
I remember.
Obama. I remember how he gave them to the business. I don't remember him giving them to people.
I remember.
What year was this?
I don't remember what year.
Because I know you lying. I don't remember him giving out no stimulus to only business and everything. I can't recall him giving out no stimulus to to people.
He did.
Okay, if you say so. I can't recall though.
And so you expecting that Donald Trump is gonna do another
Man, let him
stimulus
be,
check.
man. I get tired of talking this shit, man. It is what it is. He the president. Is over with. Final call. That's it, man.
Again, you
Shit,
can't
hey, man,
1
what I'm
second
doing
say
now for
what
her?
it. Hold on.
So
Well,
what's the
no.
difference?
Wait. So if that's the case, don't say shit about the mayor. He the mayor. It's over with. Final call. Let him do whatever he want to do and just deal with
I
it.
don't stay in White. I stay in Cincinnati.
It don't matter. You stay in
So
America. You stay in America.
And
And he the president of America.
hey, now one of them ain't doing no white or black. So now what? We ain't getting nowhere. What we get? Nothing.
And so have
Not
no
a damn-
expectations. So don't say nothing else about the mayor.
Well, I don't care really. I really don't.
Okay.
And everything. I don't care. I just care about people and everything. I don't. They do whatever they want to. They puppets anyway, man.
So then just
They
don't,
say-
again, so you're not going to say anything else about the mayor, right?
No, I'll cuss his ass out if I
But
got to.
you're not going to comment on anything else that he does.
Probably will, because he go do some fuckery shit.
Hold on, but I thought the mindset is
Hey, man.
the election
I'll
is
change
over,
like the weather,
he the
man.
mayor,
I'll change like
and
the
just
weather,
let it be.
player.
That's
Hey,
not a good thing.
Hey, player, you saw the boxing Saturday?
I saw the boxing on Saturday, yes.
Oh, I'll let you think about it.
I think the fight happened, it's over with, and we move on.
You probably like that part when he kissed dude and turned around, did you?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
No, I really don't.
When he first came out, Mike Tyson.
Yeah, no,
Did you
I don't
see
know
the
what you're
girls
talking about.
fight?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good fight. She got robbed, though. Oh, girl. That was a good fight.
I thought she got
what
robbed.
else? Huh?
I thought she got robbed too.
I ain't know if you watch boxing or not.
I watch boxing.
I just thought you just watch wrestling.
I watch both. I'm
What else you
well-rounded.
so I can cuss you out, fam.
I'm well-rounded and cultural.
I guess so, man. If you say so, dude.
So you was looking for
What-
Mike Tyson to be kissing people.
You say what?
So you was paying attention to whether or not he was kissing people. That's what you
No.
tuned in to watch? You tuned in to see if Mike Tyson would kiss a man?
Man, I was expecting Mike Tyson to do dude in. That's why I watched. I was in and out anyway. I really didn't. I think I stopped watching the fourth round or something like that. I was tired.
You and Transveta was hanging out?
You said what?
Nothing.
I heard what you said. I just want you to repeat yourself. No, you monkey ass. You know, some good Transveta dead, dude. He dude got killed, man.
All right, you got
know.
anything else, twin?
No, what else I need to cuss you about? I think that's it. Whatever. Got nothing else. You don't watch football, so.
I do watch football.
You say you don't watch football, I thought.
No, I never said that.
I'm sorry, NFL, I mean.
Yeah, I don't watch NFL.
Oh. Hey, Alabama State, you went there, right?
Yes.
Where is that in Florence, Alabama?
It's in Montgomery, Alabama.
Oh, Montgomery. I thought it was in Florence.
No, it's in the capital.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's all I got to say. You ain't got nothing else, I don't think.
I got nothing
So
else.
Lincoln was a DJ?
He was a DJ on the boat.
Why you ain't never mentioned that?
He has mentioned it 1,000,000 times. He told y'all the reason he got combat pay was because he had to go to this remote place to get a record. And the helicopter took him to this place and landed, and he had to walk up a hill to the record shack and get a record and then get back on the helicopter and then get back on the boat so that he could play this specific record. That's how he got combat pay, was going to the record shack to get a record. He told y'all that.
Damn, DJ in the Army, or Navy, whatever.
The Marines. He was a Marine DJ. He told y'all that.
I didn't know that. Yeah. I was mess with him about it. Oh, Lord. So you know too much about you.
He said it over the air 100 times. Easy.
Oh, I never paid attention. I didn't
Yeah.
know he was a DJ.
He was a
Oh,
DJ.
all right.
All right,
I'll
twin.
holler. I'll keep listening, man.
All right. Have a good one.
You're still full of it.
All right. Take it easy.
What up?
All right. That was Twin. I'm sorry, LG. Call back. I saw LG was calling in. You call back LG. What else is going on? Right. He has mentioned that. Nat says Lincoln mentioned he was a DJ on the warship 1,000,000 times. Right. Like, I'm not saying anything like, oh, you taking shots at Lincoln Ware. Telling the truth is not taking a shot. That's what he said. LG.
Emanuel Livingston, what's going on?
What's going on with you, LG?
Not too much.
Hold on. Before you start, are we in a better position now?
Then where? What are you talking about?
Last time I talked to you, the last thing you said to me is, when I see you, it's on site.
Oh yeah, your brother smoothed that out. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. I just want to check. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I want to be ready.
Your big brother smoothed that out. Don't worry about it. We cool. We got the Cold War going. Don't worry about it.
Okay, all right. What's up? What's on your mind?
Nah, hey, look, I can take a joke too. I know we was talking shit, but we can take a joke. Like,
yeah, it's all
me
good.
and Nate talk. We're cool, you know. But look, I didn't catch all the conversation we had with Twin, but I wanted to get the gist of it because I guess you were making some type of statement about if you're not going to talk about the president, don't talk about the mayor. Is that right? Or I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
Okay, I asked the question, if you supported Donald Trump, what expectation do you have of him? In particular, if you were one of those people who said, Democrats ain't did nothing for us in 200 years. They ain't did nothing for black people, so I'm voting for Trump. Then what expectation do you have of Trump? And then Twin said, basically, he don't have no expectation of Trump. The election is over, and so whatever he do is whatever. And so I said, well, if that's the case and you have no expectation of your elected officials, then stop talking about the mayor. The election is over, and it is what it is.
Okay, all right. I will push back a little bit on that.
All right.
All right, so it's two different races, right? So, like, yeah, the presidential race just ended a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's settled business. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware of this. Some people aren't, because I'm kind of shocked about this, because some folks think that Abtab's going to turn him out. He's not. He's actually running for re-election again in 2025. So I think it's fair to make demands of this mayor as he heads into re-election. I think that's totally fair.
But you don't think it's fair to make demands of the president-elect? You don't think that's fair?
You can make demands. I'm not saying you shouldn't.
Okay.
I mean, I have certain expectations, but I mean, to say call it a demand, I wouldn't go that far because he got elected and he can only do 4 years, so he's not up for re-election again. So basically, whatever he do, you got to kind of roll with it unless you want to vote in 2026 during the midterm elections for Congress and Senate and all that, because you'll have another opportunity to check him.
Well, of course, you get a number of opportunities to check him just because he's not running for re-election, which is one of the reasons why I believe Barack Obama didn't do some of the things in his last term that people wanted him to do, because they also look forward. So you say, okay, if the president does this, that is a representation of the party. And so he messed up so bad, I'm not voting for whoever is the Republican representative. And I would say typically, other than Trump, because Trump only cares about Trump. So that might not work for Trump because he don't care once he's not in office. But for a regular, typical human being, then they would be like, well, it's not just about me and right now, it's also about the future. So yes, you can hold them accountable, even if there's, as they say, they're a lame duck. You can still hold them accountable because they're also looking for the party to continue that legacy.
Well, yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying, and you're not wrong. What I'm saying is that once he wins on a 4-year term, the only way you can do anything to Trump to check him is that next big turn election. For the next 2 years, ain't too much politically you could do. You got to just kick back and watch and see what he do, and then make a business decision in 26 to see whether or not you want to vote for his agenda through the legislator, or sit it out or go the other way. I mean, you got options in 2 years. You don't have options right now to deal with Trump.
Now, I'm sure you don't mean it the way that it came out.
Go ahead.
And that you acknowledge, I'm sure that you acknowledge that you do have options other than waiting for 2 years. You can lobby, you can protest, you can do all kinds of things. You don't just sit back and say, okay, whatever happens, happens. I'm quiet as a church mouse. And if he do anything, oh, well, in 2 years is the only time no, people protest, people lobby, all of that stuff happens.
Well, yeah, no, I hear you on that. And I think lobbying takes finances, right? So like now it becomes a matter of whether people are willing to put the money where their mouth is. I ain't got no control of that for other folks. But to the protesting piece, and I'll get into that right now, you see, I've been out here in the streets locally. So, like, I'm not going anywhere as far as my protest locally. The election federally is over. I'm not about to run up on Greg Lansman, who I don't agree with, okay, because I understand that his vote in Congress now really don't mean anything because the Democrats don't control Congress. So I could ignore him. And the Republicans control the Congress and they control the White House. So whatever they do is what they're going to do for the next 2 years. Now, if I have a problem with it, I'll be vocal, but I don't anticipate having any problems with them. My focus, personally speaking, and people say this all the time, all politics are local. So if you don't run your backyard, you really don't run anything. So if you're yelling at Trump about what Trump doing, Trump ain't paying you no attention. And quite frankly, what Trump and the federal government does to you doesn't really impact you as much as it does with the school board, the city council, or the mayor. I think that's fair to say.
I would agree with that.
Okay, so basically, I went down, because I'm an advocate, all right? I went down to City Hall yesterday when I found out over the weekend, I didn't know he was doing this. I read the news and saw that the council had put on their Budget and Finance Committee agenda a motion to prioritize transgender, not even mental health, but just transgender health, generally speaking, and make that a line item in our general fund budget. I got a problem with that. Now, look, people can live the lives they want to live. I ain't got no problem with that. But when you start involving taxpayer money in transgender health, yeah, I got a problem with that. I don't think that's appropriate. I went down there and go ahead.
How are they defining transgender health?
Exactly. That's a good point. So, like, the way they're defining it is it's vague, but one thing is mental health. That's one aspect of it.
Okay.
As far as, like, family support, like, all that's included. But, see, I know Nate, your brother, has said something about $500,000. Now, Nate could be right. We don't know the number yet because this is new. So, like, what the motion does, it puts it on the city administration, Cheryl Long, the city manager, to create a line item in the next budget that comes in June to pay for transgender health, mental health, counseling, whatever they ended up. They couch it as transgender health. But, like, that could be mental health. It could be sex changes. I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying it could be if the city wanted to pay for that and they get the votes. So I'm saying to people, like, to the council members, it's inappropriate. Like, if people want to have sex changes, they want mental health for their transgender or the confusion or whatever like that, let them pay for that. We got Obamacare. If you got Obamacare or private insurance, they can take care of that. That's not something that the taxpayers should take care of, in my opinion.
Well, where are they saying they're going to take this money from?
The general fund.
And what else would you have them do with this money?
What I wouldn't do is put it on, give it to transgender health care. I wouldn't do that at all. So I would do anything but transgender health care because that's one of those social issues that the government shouldn't be financing, in my opinion. So
okay, hold on. Let me ask you this.
Lunches, whatever. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. Should the government be worried about and fund local government health care of anyone?
You said should the federal government fund
No, locally. Should local government be worried about the health care of anyone?
No.
So you would say all of the money in the, what is it, Health and Human Services budget? Does the city have a health budget?
They call it Health and Human Services, so there's always a budget.
Right, so you say take that away.
Right.
Just get rid of that.
I mean, I think that should be on the table.
Okay.
I mean, I think it should be on the table. What I don't like is the government using money to get involved with confused kids. That's my biggest problem. Leave that to the parents to figure that shit out. It's not a situation where the government should be trying to put money to help confuse the kids further. You get a boy that says, "Oh, I'm a girl." All right, so now we're taking taxpayer money for mental health to try to convince this boy that thinking that you're a girl is okay. I don't think that's appropriate for taxpayers to get involved in. If you want to do that privately, fine. You got your own private health insurance, you got Obamacare, fine. You got Medicaid. You know, like they'll be able to do some stuff, but the transgender stuff, no.
I think
that's not appropriate.
And see, I'm not sure. I kind of agree with you, but I'm kind of not 100% sure that I agree with you. If that makes any sense. Here,
it's a complicated issue.
Yeah, because it all depends on how they're defining this care. If this care is, as you say, and as I believe Nate suggested, like gender affirming care, then okay, that's a murky area, possibly. If this care is, because I believe that transgender kids or people who view themselves as transgender, whether you believe that to be an actual thing or not, I believe that they do have some specific challenges that other people don't necessarily have, right? And, I've never thought about killing myself because I wasn't sure of what my gender was, So there's some specific mental issues that they might have that I would not mind the city saying, look, you are talking about killing yourself. We will offer you mental health care. And this killing is based on you being transgender. So we might want to set aside some money to help these people with these particular issues. Now, maybe the argument could be made, which is kind of where I'm mentally where I'm kind of thinking. Instead of adding $500,000 to a particular budget for transgender healthcare, include transgender healthcare in things that are treated in the already there budget. But I don't necessarily see a problem with the city saying some of our transgender young people have some mental health issues that are relevant just to them, and we want to help them with those issues. I don't think that's evil.
Well, look, people, if they need help, they should get help. All right. However, this is a scenario, in my opinion, where, transgender healthcare, quote unquote, whatever you want to call that, if they budget the money to do transgender healthcare, and let's just say they use the overall umbrella of transgender healthcare, now the administrative state, which is the city administration, can decide what that terminology means. What does transgender healthcare mean to them? Okay? Now, that can open up a whole nother can of legal worms because Chevron is no longer in power as far as the court case. Because Chevron allowed the administrative state to make the professional decisions on things that the legislature passed. That is no longer the law. So, with that being the case, transgender healthcare could mean sex changes if they wanted it to do it. They interpreted it like that. So I'm saying once you give power and resources to a cause that's the overall umbrella is transgender healthcare, then you get dicey because now we got to define what transgender healthcare is. This motion did not define what transgender healthcare is. It's a one-page motion. What they only did was tell Cheryl Long, the city manager, make sure that you have a line item for our budget to include transgender healthcare. If they do that and pass that, then whoever's running the health department can make a decision based on their budget on what they want to pay for that they can couch as transgender healthcare. So if they want to do surgeries with kids, they could do that. I'm just saying we open the Pandora's box with these types of motions. And I said this, well, somebody said this down at City Hall when I was down there yesterday. You know how many black kids are actually transgender in the city of Cincinnati that they've identified?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you if you knew the number.
I thought it was like around 1.8, 1.9%.
Yeah, it's 1.9%. So then my question becomes, what about the other 98% of African American kids in the city? Are they is something wrong with them that they can't get no funding? You're gonna fund 1.9% of, black kids to get mental health care when we all know that these kids, especially in Cincinnati public school where it's 30% black, a lot of them are just straight up homeless. They ain't got nowhere to go. The parents is homeless. Like, wouldn't it be a better use of taxpayer dollars to help support those kids? Because you're helping more people versus helping 1.9%. And to be quite frank, to me, it's nothing but politics, because we just had this conversation 3 weeks ago during the election where Trump ran the commercials, Harris is for they, them, and Trump's for us. So I'm saying, like, to even come back with this after this election shows that they are not reading the room. They're politically tone deaf. They have an agenda, and it doesn't include black people as a whole.
I'm not sure that I agree with that, just based on, I don't agree that election was purely a referendum on trans, first. Second, even
Do you
if
think that was the most powerful commercial? Was that the most powerful commercial you saw during the election?
No. Not to me. To me, it was a ridiculous commercial, but
it worked.
But I don't know that it worked. I mean, I would have to see some sort of studies to have people say that that's the reason why they voted for Trump, and that alone, And
all the professional consultants say that was the best. That was the best of the site.
Okay, and that's their opinion. But
it's the professional opinion. It's not just opinion. It's professional.
That don't mean nothing. Professionals be wrong sometimes. Professionals be wrong sometimes. I don't give extra credence to somebody because they say, "Oh, I do this for a living." That just means sometimes you right in your profession, sometimes you're wrong, and it's just an opinion. But I don't want to get stuck on that, because Trump didn't win Hamilton County. So even if they are literally reading the room, they're not basing their opinion on what the country chose. They would have to base their opinion on what the city chose. And even though I know Trump did not win Hamilton County, or I know Trump didn't win Cincinnati. So based on that argument, if you're saying that's the argument, that was the referendum in front of the voters a few weeks ago, then in Cincinnati, the answer was, we care more about them and they. So they would be right on point with reading the room.
But that's my point, though.
They read the room that they're in. They didn't read the whole country. They read the room that they're in, and the room that they're in said, we like trans.
Them, right?
Huh?
The room that they're in says they, them, right? Instead of us.
Yes.
So us is protesting that shit.
Okay.
And whether it works or not, we still gonna stand up.
Okay. And I don't have a problem with that. See, I think that is a part of holding people accountable. Now, I would suggest, if you say, and this would just be a suggestion that people can throw away, because who am I but the king to talk?
I'm open to them.
My suggestion would be, okay, y'all want to do $500,000 for trans kids? Now put another line item in there, $500,000 for black kids.
I hear that, but there's only so much money to go around. And that's why I said either you with they, them, or you with us. Like, somebody's going to lose out on the funding aspect of it. So, like, we're going to make it a priority for 1.9% of black kids who are trans to get this transgender health care and ignore the 98% of black kids in the city who are not that. And it's not to say that they don't need mental health care. They don't need other services.
But what I'm saying is, from a political standpoint, you make the argument, in my opinion, you make the argument better if, all right, y'all want to allocate $500,000 for trans kids, I'm against it. But if y'all pass it, Now we're gonna come down and we're gonna lobby for 500,000 for black kids. And if because I perceive this as a political battle brewing. And so if you want to win that political battle, and the argument that you want to make is they care about trans kids, but they don't care about black kids, then you draw a stark contrast. Y'all just gave trans kids $500,000. Now we're proposing giving black kids $500,000. So if you say no to that, now we got an argument to be made. Mayor Aftab Pureval.
Yeah, I understand that.
You know,
right. And I want to make sure I'm clear because Nate said $500,000.
Well, whatever it is, you know, whatever.
I was just saying we don't know that yet because this is how stuff starts. It starts as a motion, then it becomes an ordinance.
Right.
So like right now, they just want to make that line item. Now maybe Nate has more information than I do, and they're talking about $500,000. If that's the case, then I hear that. But to your point, yeah, I mean people can do that. Like you'll get this to trans kids. Now let's help the 98% of black kids in the city, and now all they're going to do is call you divisive. Like now you're pitting the black kids who's not trans against the trans kids who's black or against trans kids in general. So like then people like the bad guy because they're trying to advocate for their community, you know what I'm saying? But now we're saying we need the money too, and they only got so much money. If they got $500,000, right, and they want to give it to one group of people or the other, they've made it known that that's what they're going to do because they made it a priority in the budget. You see what I'm saying? That's my problem with it. I don't think trans kids should be a priority as far as health care for the government. That's a priority for the parents to handle.
I understand your point. I guess my counterpoint to that would just be, if I learned anything in this 2024 presidential election, I learned that we shouldn't be worried about being viewed as the bad guy because the bad guy won.
Well, that depends on your perspective, because some folks will tell you the good guy won.
No. When I say the bad guy, I'm not talking about ideologically and all of that kind of stuff. I'm talking about rhetorically. Trump did not mind saying anything that could be perceived as negative. He actually spoke out and said, my people keep telling me, don't be negative, but I don't care. I'm going to be negative. And negativity won. So don't worry about being the bad guy. Worry about, politically speaking, being the guy who's making the point that later on you can put in the campaign commercial and say, Aftab voted against black kids, but he voted for trans kids.
Oh, people can just say Aftab voted for trans kids. I mean, I think that's enough because there's less trans people in the city than is not trans. So, like, the fact that he's prioritizing trans kids, the fact that they're top of mind to get some line item out the budget is crazy. Like, you basically made them first, and you put the non-trans people last. Okay. I think that's a fair point. Regardless of what people come out there and say, we need $500,000 for black kids versus trans kids, I don't think that needs to be made as a point saying we need this much money. I think the point's strong enough to say, like, yo, you prioritize trans kids over, everyday regular American kids. So, like, now, what makes you think that that's appropriate? Now, you're saying he read the room in Cincinnati, Hamilton County. I hear you on that. But as far as the resistance, this is an overall pattern because I don't even know if you saw my video where I told you about my interaction with Aftab yesterday before I even went in the chambers.
I didn't.
I
think you got me blocked, don't you? I can't see your stuff. You got me blocked.
Yeah, I'll take you off block. Yeah, I think I do got you blocked. You're right. I'll take you off block. But I'll give you the skinny of it. Basically, I went down to City Hall to, get my 2 minutes, exercise my right as a citizen to speak up against the issue, right? Now, mind you, I'm going to tell you this. I was the only person down there in opposition of that motion, and I was the only black person down there in opposition to the motion. All right, so I said my piece first, and I was the first one down there because I was passionate about it. But before I even got past the metal detector, I'm checking in at the desk, and Aftab walks in behind me. So I don't know if you've seen this either, but I protested the State of the Union on Tuesday. Did you hear about that?
No.
All right. Well, I protested the State of the Union. I was escorted out of the room because I had a sign.
Oh, no. Yeah, I did hear about that. I heard that you were...
Okay. I'll unblock you so you can see all the videos I've been putting up. But basically, I told them to stop lying to the black community. I got escorted out. No big deal. I wasn't arrested. I exercised my First Amendment right. They let me go home. Cool. So yesterday, I'm talking about a different issue, and I see AvTab come in. So the minute I seen AvTab come in, it was on site. So I started protesting again. I said, stop lying to the black community. So he stops his walk and comes to the security desk, and he gets within like 3 feet of me. Like he's kind of close, almost my personal space. And he asked me, what did you say? I told him stop lying to the black community. He asked me my name. We shake hands. I tell him my name, and I tell him stop lying to the black community. So he says, what I'm lying about. I say stop lying to the black community. I ain't answer his question. So he says, oh, you ain't going to answer my question. Like, he's not my boss. I'm his boss. I'm a taxpayer. I'm not here to answer your questions. I'm in City Hall. You're here to answer my questions because I'm one of your 300,000 employers, okay? So he told me, he said, you ain't going to answer my question. I said, I don't have to answer your question, AvTab. Stop lying to the black community. So he proceeds to curse at me in my face, in front of security and people in there and everything. And I'm saying that is beneath the office of mayor of Cincinnati, period. Like, people, I've never cussed at AvTab. I ain't disrespected this man, nothing. But the fact that you think you can get in my face in front of a group of people in City Hall and cuss at me in my face is disqualifying, it's unacceptable. And then he told me to take my hat off in the building. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
This dude told me to take my hat off in the building. And I said, there ain't no rule for that. He was mad because I had a UC hat on because he went to UC. You know what I'm saying? So he was upset I'm wearing his school on my head. And he wanted to tell me to take the hat off my head in the building. I'm like, I could wear Cincinnati stuff anytime I want. Like, your ass is from Beaver Creek. And you trying to tell me what I could wear in this building. He's a smug asshole, okay? And I heard he cussed people out down at City Hall on the regular when he's doing business. So what he did yesterday is show me that was accurate. If he feels comfortable enough to cuss at people, the citizens who employ him, who have a difference of opinion of him, then, in my opinion, he's got to fucking go. And I'm going to do everything I can to make sure he goes.
But, LG, I have to say this.
Yes, go ahead.
You can, but I don't think it's good to make the argument that AvTab cussed at you, thus, him not, what did you say, it's actions not fitting the office or whatever?
In my opinion, yeah.
Okay, but you can't make that.
You feel like you want to cuss at the citizens, that's
right.
Great.
But you can't make that argument and vote for Trump.
That's what I'm saying. Why not? He's doing Trump shit. If you want to make that argument.
So if you can't say he's disqualified for his actions when it didn't disqualify Trump for his actions. There has to be some level.
I can. That's my philosophy. I think it's appropriate. And yes, I can make that argument because Trump and AvTab ain't the same. They're not in the same city. They're not in the same position. None of that stuff applies.
The standard should be higher for the president than the mayor.
Says who?
Says most reasonable people.
That's not true because the American people just said that you a liar on that one. The American people determine what the standards are. I'm an American person.
You're right.
I got my own standard.
You can have your own standard. Your standard is not equal across the board. Thus, to me, it's not reasonable. I do understand what you're saying. I
hear what you're saying, but I said different things for different people because everybody's different and everybody's running for different stuff. So, my standard for mayor may not be the standard for president, and vice versa. It might not be the standard for council as far as Congress. I'm allowed to make those decisions because I live in America and I'm an American and I can make my own decisions. You might not agree with that, and I respect that. And people may not agree with me.
It's just not consistent.
The reality is, I could do what I want to do because I'm an American. I can vote the way I want to vote.
That's very true.
And the American people deem what's appropriate and what's inappropriate, not silos.
No, that's very true. I just think it's first. I think it's, like I said, inconsistent, and I think it's a hard argument to make to people that AvTab said a cuss word, so he shouldn't be mayor. Donald Trump.
Again, that's my opinion. It's not nobody else. The fact that he told me to take my hat off.
It's still the argument that you're making to people, though. That's what I'm saying.
One more time, say it again.
I said it's still the argument that you're making to people, and I think because of the lack of consistency, I don't know that it's an argument that many people will be able to latch on to.
Well, we'll see. I mean, the ultimate
test is
November 2025.
Yeah.
Okay, That's the report card. That's when the report come out. You can't nobody say right now one way or the other whether what I'm saying or whether I'm doing is effective. We'll find out in November. People can have an opinion about it, and I'm cool with that.
Well,
but people can't tell me like your standard for Trump and ASCAP is inconsistent. You can say that, but I don't agree with that.
Well, but just so you know, mine is a professional opinion.
Yours is a professional opinion.
Yes.
You give me some radio shit and you give a professional opinion. I might listen to that. Your
professional
political professional opinion, I would take Nate over yours. All right, Evie, I'm gonna let you go.
All right, LG. Yeah, I gave you my professional opinion on it, which carries more weight. But yeah, no, I get what he's saying. And I understand. Again, it all depends on how they are defining trans healthcare. I don't think that the citizens should be on the hook for paying for, some surgical procedure for some teenager or something like that. And I don't know that that's included. So it all depends on how they're defining what it is. But I don't have a problem with trans people receiving health care. I don't necessarily think that it should be a specific line item. If you say, as the city of Cincinnati, we offer, clinics and things like that give health care to people who need it, then you say, well, what do y'all cover? And if you say, well, trans people need health care, then just add that to the thing that they cover at the healthcare clinics. And so if you're a trans person and you need health care and you qualify to go to one of our clinics, you can get health care, even specific to your trans issue. I don't necessarily know that you have to go to the point of adding a line item. But I don't have a problem with trans people getting health care that they need. But that's what I was saying, if you want to talk about it from a political standpoint, I personally think, in my professional opinion, that you have to, y'all know that don't really matter, the professional opinion is just something. I think you have to, if you want to present that argument to the people, you need to show people a stark contrast. And you need to be able to say, politically speaking, this person voted for trans rights and they voted against black rights. This person voted for trans health care and voted against black health care. You have to make that stark contrast. Otherwise, I think you lose that argument politically. But that's just the king of talk and his professional opinion. Blade.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing, sir?
How's it going? Hey, buddy, I'm going to make it real short. This show today. But, I think dealing with us, we're just too kind-hearted. We always going to come in second because we always want to go for somebody else when they're not thinking about us. It can never be black and black only. It always got to be black and somebody else. Why is it that psychologically we always want to be second? Why can't we ever just be first and first only?
Huh?
Huh?
I'm confused about what you're saying.
I'm confused about us. Now we worrying about trans. Why does this thing be black and black only? In the race, it was black and brown. We saw brown didn't care about us. Now we worrying about the trans. Now we're going to see the trans don't care about us. When are we going to say black and black only?
Okay.
Why
Wait.
our coffee always got to be mixed with somebody else?
Hold on. Blade.
Why can't it just be straight black?
Blade, may I ask you a question? Who do you perceive is saying black and trans?
Now we talking about black and trans.
Well, no, what he's saying, or at least, what LG and Nate has said earlier, is that they are putting a line item in the budget for trans and they're against that. So who is saying we should band together or anything of that nature?
No. I'm just saying you're making the conversation for it. They're saying no, but you're saying yeah.
I'm not saying yes or no. I'm saying if you want to make that political argument, then you need to draw that contrast. Now, I am saying, just like I wouldn't sit here, I'm not against people. I'm not against anybody getting health care. If a trans person dropped in front of me and needed CPR, I wouldn't be like, I only help black people. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do that. So that's the point that I'm making. Everybody should get health care if they qualify, from the city. If they qualify for that health care, there does not need to be a specific line item in the budget. But if you're going to put a specific line item in the budget and you want to make the argument politically against the people who are putting this line item in the budget, then what you have to do, in my opinion, is propose a line item specifically for your group. In this case, it would be black people, to draw that contrast. That's all I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying, King, but once again, I'm gonna go back what I said. When is gonna just be about us and us only? It ain't nothing personal. It's all business. I mean, I understand you're talking about the insurance and you want to put it in there and make it sound good. If somebody dropped dead, whatever. Well, it's just like a crackhead ODing, but they talking about you can use Narcan or whatever. No, I'm not gonna touch that person because people are mixing, lacing everything with fentanyl. If you get this stuff on you, you can die. So it ain't nothing personal. If you die, you just die. I'm not going to risk my life because you don't know how to say no to drugs.
But I'm not going to But if I am so inclined to help a person overdosing and I see a black person overdosing, I'm going to help them. But if I see a trans person overdosing, I'm going to say, you ain't black. So I'm not giving you none of my Narcan. This is black people Narcan. I'm not going to do that. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, King, what they tell us in the 90s? Didn't they tell us when dealing with crack, say no?
That's what they told us.
These people got to say no to whatever, man. We got to say no and stand for us. We're running out of time, King. We going to stand for black and black only.
But I don't know this is a question of standing for black and black only. I think this is more of a question of standing against trans. I stand for black, but I don't stand against trans. You don't have to be against trans people to be for black people.
Well, we must be saying the same thing. It ain't nothing personal. It's all about black, King. When are we going to say black and black only? We running out of time, King. When are we going to stand for us? Other people seeing that these people are not standing for themselves, so why should we stand for them?
But again, that's why I said, if they want to put a specific line item for trans health care, then someone propose a specific line item for black health care.
Yeah, it should be X out trans health care, and it should be black health care, King. You're right.
I don't know about the X out part.
Like he said, we got people out here homeless and need housing, and they talking about helping some psychologically confused person using taxpayer money to get a sex change. Come on, King. It's ridiculous.
I don't know that's what they're talking about. That's why I asked the question, how are they defining what healthcare is? Because that matters. If they're just saying, which I think Nate posted something, and if I can, I'm going to try to scroll back and see if I can find it. He says, it is for mental health and safety services. So I'm not against trans people getting mental health and safety services, but if you put that in there for trans people, put it in there for black people too. That's all I'm saying. I'm not against trans.
Well, I don't agree. I don't agree with that, King, because long we divided against ourselves, they got us in checkmate, King. When are we all going to say we're going to stand for black and black only? I want to start hearing that in 2025 instead of black, brown, black, trans, black, Asian. When are we going to stand for us, King? We running out of time. If we say black and black only, like black coffee, we maybe can get some shit done. Until we start mixing our coffee with everything, we're not going to get nothing done, King. We're running out of time.
All right.
Thank you, King.
All right.
Black and black only. Let me hear you say it. Black and black only. Ain't nothing personal. It's business.
I don't agree with black and black only. I don't agree with that.
What the young people say? Let's stand on business, King. Peace out, bro.
All right. But I guess the problem is I don't agree with that. I really don't agree with black and black only. I really don't. I'm down for black people. I think black people should get everything everybody else get. Have access to everything everybody else have access to. I also don't believe black people should be the only ones with access to services. Because that's the conversation that we're having, is about receiving city services. I don't agree. And if you think only black people should get city services, I think something is wrong with that. Citizens should get city services. Only black citizens. No. All citizens. Black and black only. No. Everybody equally. Everybody equally. We should all get city services equally. So I guess it all depends on what you're talking about, but from that perspective, I understand. I'm not one of these, black and brown, this and that. When I'm talking about black people, I'm talking about black people. But Crystal says, but is that equal? Is what equal? I'm not sure what you're asking about. Ron says, but yet we aren't treated equal. Have the time. I don't understand what that means either. I'm sorry. Vernon wants to know, what does non-binary mean? Because this money is for them too. I'm not 100% sure what non-binary. I don't understand all of that stuff. And I'll be honest, I don't go out of my way to try to understand it. This is going to sound crazy to some people. But I just look at people as people. Only way I know you gay is if you tell me you gay. I don't follow you around. Well, no, sometimes you can just tell. Maybe, you can just tell. Sometimes you can just tell. But I don't really, I deal with people as people. I deal with people as people. And I just think we should all be. But I was saying all that to say, I don't understand all of the intricacies of the LGBTQIA plus community. All of those letters are actually in there in some iterations. And I learned that kind of the hard way. I said something, and I had to do a whole research on it. But I didn't do a research to understand what is non-binary. I don't know. They people with, their own issues, like we all are. And I don't think they shouldn't get services. Just, I'm trying to make sure the way I'm going to say this don't sound like I'm trying to say something. Just fold them into the services that already exist. That would be what I would say. They don't need a special line item. We provide health services. We have a whole section of the city that's dedicated to that. So if you trans and you need health services, come to one of our clinics. You're welcome. That's what I would say. Crystal says, but you didn't say that. You're saying it now, and I agree. Crystal, I'll be honest. I'm not 100% sure what you're talking about. I'm not 100% sure what you're saying. She says, so I guess the question is equal for whom? Call 717-KING, the 717-5464, because I'm not understanding the question. But maybe I already answered it, and I didn't know. I didn't know that I raised it or that I answered it. Can you talk about the councilman doing this when his kid is trans and might benefit from his vote? Is that unethical? And Seabree says, Dr. Oz has been tapped to oversee Medicare. The next season of America is about to be wild. Trump is doing his own reality show. He doing his own reality show. He gonna fire people. People gonna walk out and quit. He doing his own reality show, and we're gonna have to deal with the consequences as citizens. We're gonna have to deal with the consequences of this show. You're fired. It won't just be, did you see who Trump fired on Wednesday? It'll be, there's some crazy stuff going on. And then people would be mad, like, why are people following everything that Trump does? They ought to just ignore him. Right, just ignore the president of the United States and who he's picking for his cabinet and the things that they're doing. That's what we should just ignore. Right. You can't ignore it. It really is a delicate balance. As a person who was in media when Trump was in office, you want to ignore him. But again, he's the president, so the stuff that he's doing affects people. Y'all remember COVID? Or as some of my older friends call it, COVID. Y'all remember COVID? And people were like, hey, y'all should just ignore the stuff Trump's saying. What? He's getting up giving those. Okay, I know a lot of stuff was just nonsense that he was saying in those press conferences and stuff, but we can't ignore it. Thousands of people are dying every day. Oh, that's Trump. Let's ignore it. You can't do it. So you want to ignore it, but he's the president. You can't ignore it. So he kind of got us in a catch-22. It's terrible. Crystal.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
Hey.
You talk. Well, now, first and foremost, I'd just like to say this. My heart is beating really, really fast.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I tend to get nervous. I like to talk, but,
Yeah, no, don't get nervous. I'm just a king.
I tend to do that. But I just learned that I have high blood pressure, hypertension. So I can't be getting all, wild.
Well,
okay?
let's do this.
Stop trying
to
Crystal, irritate me.
Crystal, let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
Take like 5 smooth breaths.
I'll just take that big one. That was helpful. Okay, go ahead.
And then we're just going to talk.
All right, let's just talk. Because you said, right, that you felt like, well, maybe there should be line items. Well, first of all, because I had this all planned out before you answered, but you had me sitting there on hold. What sort of things do you think we could do with $500,000 in the city of Cincinnati?
I don't know.
Especially as it relates to young people. Let's specify that group.
Not much.
You said nothing much?
Yeah, nothing much.
Okay.
$500,000 sound like a lot of money, but trying to spread it between the amount of young people here and any programs that might be there, you got to let people know about the program. I don't know that there's a whole lot you can do with $500,000 that's gonna make a difference.
That's absolutely not true. Have you ever worked in nonprofit?
No.
Okay. Well, when it comes to programming or these grand old ideas that people have, and then they want to give their money and they want to see things, they want to see success. They want to help folks. Like I said, let's stick with kids.
Okay.
Okay. You may pay someone $50,000, right, to execute, maybe even create the program, execute it, get folks involved, and ensure that the funds are spent in a way that is positive. And I'm not saying that mental health care isn't a positive way to spend money.
Okay.
That's not my position at all. I'm not sure what these safety services are. I'd love to hear more about that. And, perhaps I should be a better citizen like LG and go down and hear about these things and confront, these folks face to face so that they can explain. But you said yourself, well, perhaps as it relates to trans young people, there could be a line item, not something that is just, only, specific to them, because it's coming from our local government. And those of us who pay taxes in the city of Cincinnati, that means us, right?
Yes.
So we can have an opinion on it, if nothing else. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Anyone can.
Okay. All right. So, but then you are all like, oh, but, I just believe in being equal. And then you try to act like you didn't understand me saying, okay, well, what is your definition of equal then? Because if we're talking about one specific group, and to Brethren's point, I know he said 1.9, percent of Black youth in the city are trans, but we understand that that doesn't speak to, the youth who are not Black. Okay, fine, they're citizens too. But you said, well, couldn't we just add that, and offer these mental health services, whatever they may be, to everyone, and that would be equal, right? Would you consider then that being equal?
Crystal, I think you're misrepresenting or you misunderstood.
Well, talk to me.
Yeah, I think
Help me out.
Yeah. Here's what I was saying from beginning to end.
All right.
If they're putting a $500,000 line item in the budget for, just say, trans health care, or, young people trans health care, then...
No, this is mental health and safety services for trans and non-binary folks.
Then if you're gonna do that, and you are making the argument politically that this is not a good move, it's anti-Black in the city, then you propose a line item of $500,000 mental health and safety services for Black youth.
So you're not saying that you feel like this is anti-Black?
I'm saying it's not necessarily anti-Black, no.
Okay. Interesting.
Because pro-trans is not necessarily anti-Black.
Right.
And that's why
I was that say we're being discriminatory by having, this type of thinking or what have you. And I disagree with that as well. But I hear you. Go ahead. I did not mean to cut you off.
That's all right. That's why I was saying, again, from a political standpoint, if you want to make the political argument, against, say, AFTAB and anyone who votes for this, then I believe you have to make it clear to people. Because I really don't think that I think people give people more credit than they deserve, which is why I think a lot of people are shocked by the results of this election. Like, how could so many people vote for Trump? Because we give people more credit than they deserve. People don't understand this stuff. So if you want to present to the people, in November, that this council is against young Black people and they are substituting caring for young Black people to care for young trans people, then you have to make that abundantly clear. So you have to propose $500,000 for Black kids and then have something to hold up to citizens and say, look, these are Black kids. They voted against them. These are trans kids. They voted for them. So who do they really care about from a political standpoint? Now, just from a regular old healthcare standpoint, my point was you don't need a line item. Just say if you're if you say, look, in our clinics, we offer prenatal care. We offer mental health services. We offer, you list this. These are the services that we offer. If you get VD, you can come and get your shot. Whatever it is. You say, okay, we care about trans people. You know what? We also, I don't know why I just got fireworks. We also care about trans people. So we also offer trans mental care. If you're a person who's trans and you have some mental issue that's specific to your trans whatever, then we'll help you too. You don't need a $500,000 line item in the budget for that. Just absorb that into whatever you normally put in the budget for healthcare that you offer at clinics.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
And I hear you, and thank you. Thank you for clarifying. I definitely understand much better. Is it fair to say that that's not what they're saying, though? So then,
it does.
What you just
I'm not sure. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was asking the question, because I'm not 100% aware, and that's why I had a lot of questions. And one of my first questions was, how are they defining these healthcare? And of course, now one of mine would be, what are these safety services? What does that mean? Because I don't know what that stuff means.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's important to know what it is that you're putting in here, so that you can't say, well, safety services could include surgery for gender reassignment. Like, hold on, no. That don't sound like safety services. So we need to know ahead of time what are safety services and these services that are going to be offered with this $500,000, which of course I don't have the answer to.
Right. Okay. Nope, that's fair. All right. Well, there were, lots of folks in the comments that agreed and disagreed. So I appreciate the opportunity for, civil conversation. And I would hope, and it won't be me. So I'm going to let you know that right now. I will not be down there on Wednesday protesting, petitioning, or nothing, because I have surgery on Friday. So I have to be a good girl and take care of myself.
Yeah.
But I hope to see everyone else who has, said, you know what, I don't like this. This is something I need more information about, and I have something to say. You got to get yourself down there because they're voting. So.
Yeah. All right.
Yep. All right.
But
always a pleasure.
Hold on. Did I make it easy for you? Your blood pressure is leveling out?
Well, I'm going to have to check it. I'll be honest. But the heart palpitations have slowed down.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
All right.
Crystal,
All right.
I appreciate you call.
Always. Have a good night.
All right, you too. All right, that's Crystal. I gave her heart palpitations. I have that effect. Especially when I get my hair cut. No, I'm just playing. All right. Y'all, I got to get out of here. I got a 6:30 training that I have to do. And, there are a few things I have to do to take care of that. I want everybody to have a wonderful evening. Again, I don't know how to answer any of these questions. I would say, can I just put one point on this, LG? I don't know that you can effectively make the argument that the mayor saying a cuss word disqualifies him, because those are actions unbecoming of an elected official. When you voted for a guy that cusses like a sailor, admitted to grabbing women by the vagina, is convicted, or not convicted, adjudicated to have sexually assaulted someone, and convicted of 34 felonies. I don't know that making the argument that, the mayor cussed at me, is the best argument for you to make. And again, I'm saying that in my professional opinion. Everybody, maybe not. Oh, I went to the arcade place yesterday, and I enjoyed myself. I had a good time. I hadn't played a pinball machine in forever. They got like rows of pinball machines. They got video games. Y'all know my thing is, I used to love that game, Silent Scope. Anybody remember that game? It's a little game. It's got a rifle, and you look through the thing, and they trying to kidnap the president's daughter, and you gotta shoot them, and they flying in a helicopter, and you gotta snipe them. They have that. Of course, Donkey Kong, loved me some Donkey Kong. NFL Blitz. Me and Mrs. Livingston had such a good time. Just up there. Well, we were only in there for like, an hour and a half or something like that. But we just thoroughly enjoyed unwinding and having a good time. I'm not really trying to do a commercial, even though it might sound like I'm doing a commercial. Yes, they had Mrs. Pac-Man. Almost all your classic Dig Dug, Mr. Dude, Cubert, Asteroids, Defender, Punch Out. Glass Joe knocked me out. It's been so long since I played that game, I couldn't remember how to dodge the punches. Glass Joe knocked me out. I had NBA Jam, NFL Blitz, of course, Pac-Man, Mrs. Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Centipede, Galaga. It was just a lot of places. They got a lot of different stuff. And I had a good time. And yet I told y'all, I'm like a kid. So I just enjoyed myself. I just enjoy simple, fun stuff. So I forget what it's called. What is it called? Arcade Legacy. Y'all know where, I can't say this on the radio, so I have to actually think of the name of the place. Cracker Barrel. Over there with the Sharonville exit. It's like right across the street from the Cracker Barrel. Had a good time. It's like $5 for an hour. $10 for unlimited the whole day. Brent.
I will not go to Cracker Barrel just for the principality of the matter. Oh, dude. What's going on, E-Man?
Hey, what's going on with you?
Oh, nothing much. Glad to be back in 75-degree weather instead of being up there in Boston, having to wear my knit cap. So I am doing a whole lot better than I was this weekend. But it's all good. So I got another good experience. They played well. They were missing 6 guys on the Sunday game because they had early flights.
Oh.
So that was none too pretty. But, yep. But, yeah, you're talking about that arcade that you guys have there. We have a similar place here. It's called, I can't think of the name of it. But for I think it's like $12 a person. You can play, Centipede, Pac-Man, Street Fighter, all the different versions. And they even have Xboxes and everything on the other side. And
yes, they do. They have all of that stuff downstairs, yes.
Yep. And that's when I realized that I'm not in video game shape, because hitting them buttons, after a while, like we're playing track and field, it was like, oh, I'm tired. I need a class ring to be able to hit back and forth between the 2 buttons in order to make my man run faster. So, but it's fun.
Yeah.
After about an hour, I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm ready to go. But my son wants to keep playing, so I'm like, go ahead.
And like I say, this place, it was, $5 to get you an hour. $10 you be there unlimited. So if I would have went there like earlier in the day, I'd have just did the $10 and then played till I got tired and then went back later on. But the $5 was good. So for $10, we had a nice little time, between the 2 of us. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep. And one of my memories, we got family that still lives there in the Cincinnati area. But my cousin, who's a couple years older than me, he worked at the arcade there in the Forest Fair Mall.
Okay.
And I went there, and he gave me 2 big handfuls of tokens, and I played every game that I ever dreamed of playing. Because back in the day, I may have had maybe a couple of dollars to play the game, so you had to be strategic. What game can you play that will give you the most the most playing time and less risking you dying? And one of them was not Dungeons and Dragons. what's the one where it's like 4-player and you go through these different mazes and you can just shoot like crazy? Oh goodness,
I don't know.
Oh, I can't even think of the name of the game. But it was a game to where it was just a button masher, and use your potion, and you're killing. You got to kill the huts and get the keys to go to different levels and everything. But
I don't know.
But I can't think of it. I'll find it later on. But yeah. But elections. Well, no. Let's start election stuff. I'm still waiting to hear all these, Donald Trump bag holders. When are they gonna get pissed at Donald Trump for not giving cousin Tim Scott and Byron Donalds a cabinet position? What are they waiting for?
They don't have any expectations, so
I tell you, they talk much trash concerning the black community, and especially when they talk about local stuff. What ain't being done for black folks and everything else. But on the national level, no, we ain't gonna say nothing about Trump. And I know they're being strategic, but a strategic coward is still a coward. So if you are for the black community and for black people, you have the balls to call out Trump. But they know that would also stop that check. But, are you more grifter than black? I would say yes, because ain't none of them said nothing. Because I want to hear from Uncle Charlie Wimburn, who thought he could buy the black community vote with some fried chicken. I want to hear from him. And I want to hear from the so-called kinder, gentler Republican Ken Anderson that had a reparations book for $10 that wasn't backed by no local or even national Republicans. So it's just sad. It is sad. Yeah. But the Tyson Jake Paul fight. I only caught the last 4 rounds because that was a little bit late and I didn't get my nap in that day. But I did wake up and I'm watching and everything. I'm like, man, this ain't nothing. But number one, this is, folks always talk about wrestling. Man, this was scripted from Jump Street. And it was poorly written and poorly scripted.
Yeah, and the performers did not do a convincing job. No, because even if it was supposed to be some level of competitiveness, during the last 10 seconds when Jake Paul bowed down to Mike Tyson should have took his head off. Right. Right.
Like, come on, he bowing to you. So it told you Mike Tyson was there to collect his $20 million plus he probably got a little bit extra, for not hurting Jake Paul and everything. But come on now, it's scripted. You got to know it was scripted. And if you put money, if you gamble on the outcome of that fight, you a fool.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like me gambling at the main event of WrestleMania. No. I am not doing it. But what I would love to see, I'm surprised Stefan didn't step up to try to hold up the honor of the boxing game and also Mike Tyson by challenging Jake Paul. I bet he would do it for at least a couple of $100 and a new electronic billboard. So, come on, Stefan, you can do that. But
Jake Paul took, what was it, 18 total punches that night, and no real power shots or anything like that. I think maybe one power shot landed, and Mike wasn't really throwing them he wanted to hurt nobody.
Oh yeah, because just like in wrestling, if Jake Paul would have accidentally missed the punch and hit him in the mouth, it'd have turned real fast.
Yeah, he'd have got a receipt.
Yeah, yep. But yeah, this weekend, and yes, LaDonna, this is partially the wrestling report. We got War Games: The Match Beyond. So on the men's side, we got the original Bloodline plus Seth Rollins against the new Bloodline plus what's his name? I guess he's Samoan by heritage.
Big Bronson Reed.
Yes. So I don't know why they pulled. Well, I know why they pulled him in, just to give him a match without having to give him a match.
Yeah.
But you know, they from what I understand, they got a couple more Samoans in the wings that they could have brought up, and you know, now would have been the perfect time.
Yeah.
To bring them up. And then, but on the women's side, you got Bianca, Jade, the Riot Squad, which are faces now. I didn't realize they were faces. And
Yeah,
somebody else.
Yeah, they just switched them.
Yeah, and that's one thing about wrestling. You don't know if you miss a couple of weeks, you're like, oh, hold up, I thought I'm supposed to be booing them, but I'm supposed to cheer them now.
Yeah.
But against Nia Jax, and I don't know the rest of them because I've been traveling so much and been so busy I haven't really given a chance to watch it. But we will definitely watch it.
Yeah.
And check it out. And I have to make sure I take a nap so my sons can stop telling me the outcome of the match after they tell me they're going to bed. So.
All right, Brent. Yeah. I got to get out of here.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, you keep on working on that merch site, and like I said, I want the bobblehead with the unconventional hairline. So that's right. The first. Because I'm gonna put it next to Lincoln's bobblehead and just have both of y'all heads just a bobbling.
His bobblehead is he spinning records on the ship? Just curious.
Hey, we can have records in one hand and a glass of that brown in the other hand.
Brett, I appreciate your call.
All right, take it easy.
All right. Y'all I got to get out of here for real this time. I appreciate y'all. Do me one favor. As always, you know, the last thing I ask you to do, be the reason that somebody smiles this evening. Till next time, I'm out, y'all.